What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of FORNEVERNEWS, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. We don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done.
Welcome back, everyone, and in case you're new to the channel, there's this big thing going on that about 65% of people watching this right now are not subscribed, and it helps this channel immensely. It helps it grow. It helps it to continue to thrive. If you hit that subscribe button and that bell to get all notifications, all of that good stuff, so definitely would appreciate it. I don't want to waste any more of your time, so we got some stories to talk about. Let's get to them stories, people. Let's do it. Now, first up is a slew of, y'all already know what it is, Black Clover related news. We talked about in one of the previous episodes of FORNEVERNEWS that it was the 7th anniversary for the Black Clover series, and again, it kind of just shocks the living crap out of me. You know, I remember when Black Clover was the new kid on the block, and here we are all these years later. It's 7 years in and a veteran. It's pretty much on its way to OG status at this particular point, and part of me is still like, no, it just started. But realistically, it's been a long time now. But ultimately, we got a lot to talk about with this one in particular. For starters, the fact that on Sunday they released a massive trailer. It was a PV trailer in honor of the 7-year anniversary, and in general that they got a new volume coming out and all of that good stuff. And within that trailer, not only was it of course hype because it showed new animation, it showed some really cool stuff of like Asta and Yuno and Yami and all that good stuff, but then at the end, if I'm not mistaken, was also part of a clip from the upcoming Black Clover 2023 film. Before we continue with the video, I gotta give a shout out to today's sponsor, Quirk Chat. Now, one of the main reasons I started YouTube was because I wanted to communicate with people regarding anime, manga, and all of my nerdy interests. Quirk Chat provides a lot for somebody that's looking for community and looking to have some interactive conversations. Quirk Chat's a social networking app where you can make 60-second video threads with other people in the community. Essentially, think like a video version of like Reddit. You're probably wondering, well, okay, so how do I use it? Check out the links in the description below and the pinned top comment of the video. So you could go on over to the App Store and download Quirk Chat. Essentially, there's these video threads that are called quips. You can either start a quip by hitting the plus icon and asking a question to your community, or you can watch another quip and basically respond to them. So think back to like the old YouTube days, like the video response. You can even use these quips to do AMAs, essentially an Ask Me Anything Q&A with your community outside the app by posting a link to your quip on other social media. You can host and join video contests, and you can download clips to add to your YouTube videos. And one of the most awesome things about this entire thing, if you're watching this right now, is the fact that I am over there right now. I actually have a quip. I'm going to link it in the description below so you can check it out. Go on over there because I want you to answer this question. Of the classic big three shonen manga, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, which one for you personally would you say was the most iconic of the trio? Please head on over to Quirk Chat and answer that question, and we can go back and forth, get into the conversation, start a quip. Let's get started. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about the stuff that is just the 7th anniversary stuff, because if I'm not mistaken, like a lot of those clips, like the one of Yami running, it looked cool in terms of artistically, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like a lot of this trailer was like a quick, hey, we need to get something out. It's the 7th anniversary, so they animated it because it wasn't as fluid as I would have hoped. And at first when I saw this, I thought the entirety of this trailer was from like the upcoming film or something like that, but no, a lot of this was for the 7th anniversary PV. They just wanted to slap something together, some new pieces of animation for the fans, and just in general, you know, it's a good promo thing for the series to say, hey, it's still here, 7 years strong, and get some people that maybe have fallen off, or maybe even some newbies to jump into it and all that good stuff. So preview, I'm not going to hold anything against it. In fact, I'm actually excited and happy that we got some new pieces of Black Clover animation in general, and some of that stuff looked awesome. The part that is from the actual film, because another piece of Black Clover news is that we got a little teaser for the upcoming film, is the part where you see Asta. He is hooded up and he takes off the hood and you see it's Asta, and that art and animation was fluid as hell. And if that's from the film, if that's the teaser from the film, then we're in good hands, because that art and animation animation where Asta just, that small scene of him taking off the hoodie, it was fluid as hell, and I was like, oh, okay, this was worked on a long time. Some of the other stuff, they made sure to make it at the very least look from the art side of things nice, but the animation was choppy. But this, at the end, the thing that's from the film, was really awesome. And again, it just gets me more pumped. It's a shame that, you know, we got this announced back in March of 2021, and we're not getting this film until 2023, but at the very least, seeing stuff like that does give me hopes. The last bit that is from the actual movie teaser of Asta taking off the hoodie, that gives me hopes of, okay, maybe Pierrot is really putting their foot into this, because yeah, this could be really dope. Again, I wanted to give a little bit of clarification on what was going on with that whole trailer, because again, a lot of that trailer, it looked cool, but the animation I could tell was like wonky. And again, if people are going to be suspecting that's from the film, it's like, no, that's not going to give it a good word, and we're still ways off before the film even comes out, so we don't want this thing to be dead on arrival. No, that hoodie scene is the level of art and animation that Studio Pierrot is coming with for this film, which I'm going to keep on saying Studio Pierrot because I have no doubt in my mind that they're the ones that's going to handle it, considering they've done a bajillion episodes now. Unless they passed it off to MAPPA like everybody else is doing, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that Studio Pierrot that is really putting their foot in it, or they're actually potentially even freelancing some other studios to do it for them. Let's read a little bit of this press release regarding all of this. It says here, Black Clover anime film reveals 2023 premiere in first teaser trailer. The official Black Clover manga Twitter account released a new 7th anniversary video for the series tonight, which was actually the first look at the upcoming anime film for the franchise, and the announcement that the Black Clover movie will be released in 2023. And you see this little image of Asta, and in general, if you watch the trailer, it's just really, like, for Black Clover fans that haven't had much in a while, in terms of animation. Like, you know, we've had a lot of manga, of course, the manga has continued, whatever, but this is just really awesome to see, and I can't freaking wait. I am so freaking excited. Also in the Black Clover, I guess, sphere, because I want to make sure I cover everything that was announced, they actually already made it live. This was very quick, the Black Clover character popularity poll, so I believe you can go vote now. I'll link it in the description below so you can go get your vote in. Yeah, this was quick, again, because they just announced it like a few days ago, and then boom, here we go. We've got the character popularity poll, and again, I'm imagining Yami's gonna be up there. I don't know, this is gonna be an interesting character popularity poll, because things, you know, continue to morph within Black Clover, so I don't know who's going to come out on top with this one, but I'm excited either way. I'm looking forward to this character popularity poll, and it feels like it was just yesterday that we had the other one. What wasn't it, Noelle won the character popularity poll, right, if I'm not mistaken, I believe? Like, yeah, that was not that long ago. Wow. But yeah, you can get your vote on now. The character popularity poll is up. And lastly of the Black Clover related news was they showcased the first look at the cover of Black Clover Volume 32, and on it is this really interesting dynamics clashing, so to speak, of imagery, because you got, on one hand, the back of the volume is straight up this epic Asta look. If I'm not mistaken, is that the new look of Asta, or is that the one? I think that's like the latest one where he got the scarf and whatnot. It's him with the new scarf looking look in the back, and it looks amazing. Like, this shit looks incredible. But then you got Seke in the front of the cover, and a lot of people are, you know, I guess mixed with this one, because I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, yo, dog, like, you got Seke on his knees, you know, laughing in the front, and it just is like, it kind of throws it off. Like, it takes Seke out of the cover and it's damn near perfect. But I mean, I guess I could see what Tabata was going with, or whoever made that artistic choice to put Seke as, because it's kind of like, it differentiates it from just being like Asta, and I guess maybe also it adds a little bit of extra brightness to it, because like, the book, if not, would be damn near mostly black with like a little bit of red here and there, so maybe that's also what was in their thought process. I don't know. I like the cover regardless, either way, but it is a little trippy to have Seke there on his knees in front of Asta, but either way, Asta looking sick, and just in general, this is a beautiful, probably one of the best looking covers, to be honest with you, even with Seke again in front of him. It's just like, I wonder what it would have been like without Seke there. Either way, it still looks freaking amazing, and I don't really gotta wonder. I've seen the image without Seke. I'm just saying, like, it would have been better without Seke, but it's still incredible. Like, this shit is amazing. Stop complaining, FORNEV, okay? It looks awesome regardless. But yeah, people, that's all the insane Black Clover related news. Again, big trailer. Some of it was just to honor the 7th anniversary, and some of it was the first look at the upcoming Black Clover movie that is indeed coming out 2023. We also got the first look at Volume 32, the next volume, the cover of it and whatnot, and It looks freaking awesome, and we got Seke there. And I'm just interested who's going to win this character popularity poll this time around. I'm still going to throw it Yami, Asta, Noct. Noct has a lot of love out there, and he's been still very prominent. I guess we got to wait and see, right? But yeah, Black Clover greatness, a whole lot of it. And again, I gotta stress that I really hope that animation, some of it that was used in that trailer, is nowhere close to the movie. Like, there's a couple of shots I'm looking here, like there's a still frame of Asta and his back, and it just looks really disproportionate and very poorly drawn. And another one of like Yami when he's running, that shit just look, again, it looks cool, and it's just like, yeah, Black Clover back. But it was choppy and not the greatest animation. So hopefully that last scene, which looks amazing, of Asta smiling with the hoodie and whatnot, that's the film, because I want that. That right there. I want that. I need it. Pyro! You playing with us, Black Clover fans. Pyro, you playing with us, dog. We want our shit now. Nah, but shout outs to just Black Clover. And even the manga, the latest chapter had this really epic cover page of Noct, Yami, Asta, and Yuno. And it just looks freaking amazing. Like, Black Clover, such a freaking awesome series, and the art is never disappointing in the slightest. Yeah. Okay, now that we slobbed on Black Clover for 10 minutes, let's go to the next story. And let's jump to the weekly Shonen magazine author comments. Let's start this off with George Morikawa from Hajime no Ippo. I read it. If it's strife you want, go until Hata. And I have no blue blazing what he's talking about. So, yeah, we're going to carry on with shout-outs to George Morikawa, legend. Then we got Negi Harova, Ranger Reject. There's nowhere left to go but the Fuji Q Highland. All right, is he like in a post-apocalyptic film? Like, what are we doing here? Then we got a comment from one of the newest authors in Weekly Shonen Magazine. Might be the newest, if I'm not mistaken. He just came through. Kei Urana from the series Gachi Akuta. This is a busy year. I haven't beaten Pokemon yet, so I'm going to be in trouble when Splatoon and Bayonetta come out. Well, you're a mangaka now, dog. Like, you're a mangaka. It's going to be busy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a very busy life now, fam. Like, you'll get to them eventually, and eventually you'll get to a point where either you'll break down and it'll destroy you, just keeping it a buck, or you'll overcome and you'll find a way to put things into your life the way you need them. So yeah, but shout outs to you and salute to starting a new journey in Weekly Shonen Magazine. Then we got Hiro Mashima, author of Eden Zero, Fairy Tail, Raidmaster. I thought I'd been playing video games a lot lately just to realize this is essentially normal for me. Well, you're a god among men, man. You do a lot of crazy things. You're really, really awesome. So it's to be expected. But yeah, shout outs to Hiro Mashima. Just my favorite of the Weekly Shonen Magazine comments as it stands now, because there's always just a inspiring quote or something from what he's saying that brings me back to something inspiring that he does. Because this man, he knows how to utilize his time. Utilize it well. Then we got Ken Wakui, author of Tokyo Revengers. I'm working hard on volume 27. That's not what the fans are saying. Hey! Oh my god, I'm so scared of catching up to Tokyo Revengers. I'm gonna be there like, you know that meme with Donald Glover? I believe it's from that show. I forget what show it's from, but is it Atlanta? I forget what show it is, but he comes through with like the cake, and it's like the house is on fire after he left, and he's like smiling coming through, and then he realizes it's on fire, and he like was really like, that's pretty much what I feel like it's going to be me coming back to Tokyo Revengers when I catch up. Then we got Nakaba Suzuki, author of Four Nights of the Apocalypse and of course Seven Deadly Sins. I'm making slow but steady progress in Dying Light 2. Zombies are really fun. You should do a zombie manga after the Seven Deadly Sins. That would be really fire. Wow, what about a action shonen zombie post-apocalyptic manga? Oh my god. Like, hey, don't take that idea, that's mine. And then closing it off, we got Yoshitoki Oima, To Your Eternity. I really enjoyed Turning Red. Shoutouts to the Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, always a treat. Hiro Mashima continuing to inspire. Rooting for this author. I want to check that out, man. I wouldn't mind a new manga. Why not? Let's see. Gachi Akuta. I'm gonna look into that one. But yeah, people, Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, always a treat. Okay, people, next up, a very interesting, very interesting article that I seen that I was like, I want to talk about this, and I might even attend this, because apparently Dragon Ball, they're trying to do something new. They're always, you know, these new teams that they developed. I remember it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago now that we reported on this, that Toriyama was very excited that they created this new Dragon Ball team that damn near essentially he don't got to do nothing and he could collect a check off the Dragon Ball IP. And with that, this team, one of the, you know, things why they were created to begin with, one of the reasonings behind their inception, was essentially to come up with new ideas of things to do in order to expand the Dragon Ball IP in different aspects and whatnot. And I think this is one of those ideas, and it's interesting. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not against it. I'm not necessarily like gung-ho about it, but I wouldn't mind checking it out, and I'm actually shocked that it's going to be possible to actually check this out, because, you know, a lot of the times when it comes to tours, when it comes to things going around the, you know, world or whatever, or just, you know, a travel thing or whatnot, normally if it's, you know, coming out of Japan, you're like, oh yeah, we're never gonna see something like that over here, especially like concerts and plays and all of that stuff, stage plays, like, we never see anything. However, this right here seemingly is going to be coming to the US, and I'm excited because according to this, it says Dragon Ball Symphonic Adventure Concert makes US debut this May. After making its debut in Paris, France back in 2018 of October as part of the 30th anniversary celebration of Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball series in Europe, the Dragon Ball Symphonic Adventure Concert is officially ready to head to the United States. Creator and producer Overlook Events announced plans for the US premiere to take place on May 21st at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, where fans can look forward to a combination of scenes and sounds from the anime with live vocals and a 60-piece orchestra performing the music of composer Shunsuke Kikuchi. Los Angeles is the first stop for the US tour, and the future cities and dates will be announced later. Pre-sale for tickets kick off on March 10th at 10 a.m. Okay, so this was announced a little earlier in the month, I guess you would say, right? Yeah, this is a few days old now at this point, but yeah, the pre-sale tickets already went out on March 10th. And here's what Overlook's founder Cedric Letardi had to say about the announcement. As great enthusiasts of Akira Toriyama saga, we spent long months carefully selecting and analyzing each scene to draw out the essence of the Dragon Ball story. Each scene was thoughtfully set to new orchestrations of the classic music to align with our narrative symphonic experience concept. We invite you to enjoy every minute of the Dragon Ball Symphonic Adventure Concert experience. And I believe this was actually initially announced back in 2020, right in like March or something, but then of course, you know, pandemic hit and everything went to batshit hell crazy. But yeah, this is something that, it sounds fun. It sounds like it'd be something really dope to attend to, assuming everything, you know, with the guidelines and whatnot is safe and all of that jazz. But yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. That sounds like something very different, something unique. Maybe, you know, go with a couple of buds or, you know, some fam or something along the lines of that and just have a good time. I don't know. It sounds kind of cool. It sounds like something that I would never expect to make its way to the US. It would be like a Japan only thing, and I would daydream and wish and wonder and hope when my life is gonna take me out of where I'm at right now, this spot. But yeah. But Nav, don't get personal. This is just supposed to be the news we don't care about if you're depressed. Well, god damn it. Moving on though. Okay, people, next up in some One Piece news. I don't know if you've been under a rock lately or whatnot, but One Piece has been making its rounds in terms of trending and being all over the place because One Piece, the manga right now has just been fire trending. All the characters' names is trending. Everything has just been trending when it comes to the One Piece series. Everywhere I've just been like, well, holy cow, okay, because of a major plot twist that happened in the series. I won't go into spoilers, don't worry. But yeah, we got a little bit of One Piece news because something is going down with One Piece magazine. Let's read. Boichi draws new One Piece cover chapter featuring Nami versus Khalifa fight. For starters, Boichi drawing anything is a win. Boichi drawing a piece of shit on top of a banana is a win, okay? Like that's a win because Boichi's gonna draw it, like, you're gonna be like, oh my god, that really looks like the best looking piece of shit. That's just how Boichi does it, okay? Like, it is what it is. So hearing that is already awesome. Then we've known from history of what he's drawn with One Piece with the Ace, you know, novel to manga adaptation. It was freaking phenomenal looking, and now he's drawing more. He did the cover chapter featuring Nami versus Khalifa, and let's continue reading the article. It says the official Twitter account for Eiichiro Oda's One Piece franchise announced on Saturday that Boichi will draw another cover chapter of the manga, this time covering the fight between Nami and Khalifa. Shueisha will publish the manga in the 14th issue of the One Piece magazine Mook series. Cover of issue I write on April 5th, and again, yeah, that's the cover with Luffy on there, Blackbeard, is that? No, that's Law, Kid, Kaido, so everybody except Blackbeard is like really relevant at the current moment. Blackbeard is always relevant, but he's not right now in what's happening in Wano. They just gave extra information. Boichi previously drew a one-shot for One Piece in 2019 that covered a different chapter from the original manga, and Boichi later did that spin-off manga, episode A, about, you know, Ace and whatnot back then as well. So yeah, this is something really dope. I mean, Boichi, man, I would love, now that Boichi has gotten you know, worldwide success, very big with Dr. Stone in collaboration with Ichiro Inagaki, and you know, he had a manga prior to that one, what was it, Sunken Rock? I would love to see Boichi return again to Jump, now that he has the notoriety that he got with Dr. Stone, to try and make another, whether it be something like a battle shonen or something like that, because I just feel like Boichi's art is so, you know what I'm saying, top of the line. There's very few artists out there. There's like Takahiko Inoue. There's, you know, a couple of artists out there that can really match that level. But Boichi is few and far between. Yusuke Murata's another one. Like, there's a few that they're just like gods. To me, like, when it comes to art, when it comes to drawing manga, they're gods. They know how to draw this shit. They know how to draw it better than majority of them. They know how to draw it sometimes faster and better than the biggest dogs out there, the One Pieces, the Narutos. Like, if you look at Vagabond, you look at a series like that, you're like, Ave Maria, ¿qué es eso? Yo no puedo creer. Yeah, you're gonna be like, whoa. But yeah, Boichi continuing on with One Piece, who knows, man? Whatever's up for Boichi next, now that Dr. Stone has come to an end, I am excited. Imagine they announce a full-on One Piece spin-off, like giving the Tales of Roger, or even, depending on what Boichi is doing within the next few years, I have no doubt in my mind, if they are going to go to a certain degree, obviously they're going to try and probably avoid all of the pitfalls that came with it, but if they go down like a Boruto route with One Piece, where it's like Luffy's kid or grandkid or whatever the hell they decide to do, I have no doubt in my mind the manga adaptation is going to be done by Boichi. Like, Boichi has to be the guy. It has to be him. Like, shout outs to the dude that does Koizuru One Piece, or did Koizuru One Piece or whatever. You're cool. We want Boichi. So please, Boichi, if you're gonna get a manga serialized or something like that, make sure by the time One Piece is over and they're about to transition to the next stages, you're available. We need you. We deserve you. We want you. One Piece deserves you. That would be amazing. Like, imagine if One Piece had a spin-off moving forward that Oda might even still be involved in. Let's just say Oda gave, you know, a sheet with 20 points every, I don't know, 6 months or a year or some shit like that, and says, Boichi, go nuts. We already know Boichi is very competent and knows how to write and draw stuff based on Sunken Rock, and then Dr. Stone. It might be amazing. I don't know, but I'm trailing off topic. Shoutouts to Boichi. Shoutouts to that whole cover in that One Piece magazine. One Piece heating up, baby. It feels like the end is of reality. It's just a matter of how much longer, but it's happening now. Okay, people, and last story of the episode, Fullmetal Alchemist fans. Now, y'all know I've been trying to keep you the best that I can up to date with the Fullmetal Alchemist announcements. First, we had that poster that it looked like Scar, and it was like announcing a new Fullmetal Alchemist project for the big 20th anniversary. And then I believe, as I had a hiatus, there was like updates that it's films and whatnot. Well, we got a lot more information down here so we can get exactly an idea of everything that's going on. We got some images from the film. It seems as though probably production is already wrapped up and tailed in for both these films, because I think there's two. Let's just read everything. Fullmetal Alchemist Complete Edition features films, release scene photos of new cast members. The official website and Twitter for Fullmetal Alchemist Complete Edition, the two-part live-action film sequel of Hiromu Arakawa's internationally popular fantasy action manga Fullmetal Alchemist, has posted scene photos introducing 4 cast members who will newly join Hiroshi Tachi as King Bradley, Seiyo Uchino as Von Hohenheim, Keisuke Watanabe as Ling Yao, and Chiaki Kuriyama as Olivier Mira Armstrong. And we're gonna look right here. For starters, we got King Bradley, which he kind of looks the role for the most part. The outfit doesn't look the most like, you know what I'm saying, like the costume kind of looks a little, I don't want to say cheap, but then we got Seiyo Uchina as Von Hohenheim. I rock with it. He kind of looks like a real life lion or some shit. I don't know. It looks cool though. Shout outs to that actor. I just called an actor a lion. Okay. Then we got Keisuke Watanabe as Ling Yao. I rocks with it. Very heavy. Looks real dope there as well. Then we got Chiaki Kuriyama as Olivier Mira Armstrong. And oh my God, give me her number, yo. I'm just saying, I'm down bad. I'm thirstier than ever, dog. And these sequels to the 2017 first film have been produced as the manga's 20th anniversary project and will tell until the manga's final chapter. And the first film, Fullmetal Alchemist: The Avengers Scar, is set to be released in Japan on May 20th, 2022. Oh, so this is a couple months shy. Yeah, they've been working on this. Then the second film, Fullmetal Alchemist Final Transmutation, will follow on June 24th. Oh, these are gonna be months apart released over there. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, they had this all wrapped up already. And again, that promo picture of Edward Elric in the rain with it holding his arm and it's bleeding and shit like that, very dark. But yeah, it seems as though they're going through with it. Again, I heard the first Fullmetal Alchemist movie was bad, so I don't know. I might go watch that, watch through the whole thing and make my own opinion whether or not it's bad, because I really love the Bleach film, and I heard people didn't really like the Bleach film, but I really loved the Bleach live action film, so there's that. I have a sometimes differing opinion. I like Cowboy Bebop live action up until the end. The end was trash, but yeah, there's that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's somewhat of a massive upset. Now, y'all know that I always keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world of manga in terms of what's next up, what's getting serialized, what legendary author or main prominent authors are returning, all of that good stuff. And there's a series in particular that is relatively new to Weekly Shonen Jump. It just started a few months back, and it's been going, I want to say strong, but it doesn't feel like that at this particular point, by the author of the manga that is currently about to get adapted with an anime, Hell's Paradise. The author Yuji Kaku now has a new series, Ayashimon, in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. But unfortunately, things aren't looking great, and to be honest with you, it's looking like, yeah, Ayashimon is flopping bad. It flopped, and it potentially could be up on the chopping block, and I'm going to give you guys all of the reasoning why. But before we get into that, just quickly wanted to remind people that 65% of people watching this right now aren't subscribed, and it really helps a whole lot with this channel and this show if you guys would hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all notifications. Takes a couple of seconds, and it really just helps out immensely so that I could continue to provide you guys with all of the latest updates on the greatest and all of that jazz in the anime and manga realm. Please hit those buttons, but let's carry on. Because the sales for the first volume of Ayashimon are out. There's actually already a volume out in stores, which that's pretty fast. It feels like Ayashimon just started, but realistically, it's been, what, like 3 months maybe, something like that, 3 or 4 months. So it's been for a little bit now that it's been running, and the sales for the first volume aren't great, aren't impressive, and to be honest with you, I've seen series sell more and get canceled. Let's take a look, because according to the unofficial Weekly Shonen Jump Twitter account, they said the first week of Oricon for March volumes is now out. Most series appear to be in line with previous releases, with maybe the exception of Sakamoto Days, which seems to have an upward trend, and I love to hear it. Yes, Sakamoto Days is continuing to go up. Let's see how they progress during the following weeks, and within it, which we'll cover it in the sales of the top 50 best-selling manga, there's a new Dr. Stone volume, new Blue Box volume, new Masha volume, new Sakamoto Days volume, new Ayakashi Triangle volume, a new Yozakura Family volume, a new Undead Unluck volume, and a few others. But right after Undead Unluck, and it must be the one that sold right under it, is Ayashimon, and it sold so little that it didn't rank, and in the main sales chart, it wasn't showcased just how much it sold, because that's how poorly it did. Again, it had to have done less than the first week sales of Undead Unluck, which I'm not even gonna lie, Undead Unluck's first week sales, that looks bad. I wonder how long did they have for this one. Was this like a full solid week, or was this a couple of days? Again, we're gonna take a look. It says right here through 228 through 306, but that might not be accurate, because again, that's like a full week. And I'll be honest with you, if Undead Unluck is now doing only 14,000 copies in its first week, that's getting canceled soon. I'm just straight up right up and down, because Yozakura Family is outselling Undead Unluck, and that's kind of crazy because it was never the case. Like, something happened with Undead Unluck where it had a lot of promise and potential, and that all just disappeared. I'm just not seeing the hype that it had even a year and a half ago. That's very interesting and weird. And even Ayakashi Triangle outselling it, like all these things, but Ayashimon, so now you're like, well, maybe FORNEVERNEWS sold right under Undead Unluck, right? If Undead Unluck did 14,831, maybe it did 14,830 or something like that, right? Well, no, you're wrong. According to Shoseki estimations on this first week, Me and Roboko sold 9,000 copies, so actually Me and Roboko outsold Ayashimon too, which is not a good thing, because Me and Roboko is not a main major seller. And then underneath that is Ayashimon, and Ayashimon, with its first volume and its first week sales, does 8,460 copies, and I've seen series get canceled doing 14,000 in their first week. But between the fact that they're putting it in the back of the magazine and the TOC. Ayashimon has been dead last already a couple different times, and these 8,460 sales. If things don't pick up in a major way, it could be out the door. In fact, they could have already had the conversation, and it could be that Yuji Kaku now is just going to continue writing until he wraps it all up. It could be that. Honestly, it could be that. Yeah, it's already on the chopping block because they're really quick about it, and they're very indiscriminative on what's getting axed and what's getting out of the magazine. But it looks like a series that a lot of us thought was going to last. It flopped big time, and unless it's the editorial department that behind the scenes is like, yo, we get it that it's not doing great in the ratings, and we get it that the volume didn't sell well, let's let it cook because we believe in it, because that's what happened, and I always got to reference it. That's what happened with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer had no hype, like there was very, very small community, but aside from that, Demon Slayer really didn't have, it wasn't cutting the mustard, so to speak. Now Demon Slayer is the biggest thing in the world, so anything is possible, but Shonen Jump, they rarely give that luxury, and I don't know if they would afford that to Yuji Kaku with Ayashimon. I mean, you would think, considering he just did Hell's Paradise, and that's getting a Mappa anime, and it's pretty popular, but yeah, Ayashimon not looking great, and more than likely, probably gonna get canceled, which is kind of crazy, because it's looking like Dororan, the series that started, I think, the week after Ayashimon, is actually getting positive reception and looking like it might survive. It looks like Ayashimon might get canceled and Doran will stay around, when realistically, between the two, from what I've read so far, Ayashimon is leaps and bounds better. Ayashimon's leaps and bounds better, and if anything, it feels like Doran started going more into playing it very safe into the confines of, all the tropes and stuff that you get out of shonen manga. Yeah, it's just kind of wild. Ayashimon looking like it's gonna get canceled. Crazy. And while we're on the topic of sales, let's hammer this one out real quick, because we got the top 50 best-selling manga volumes of the week, courtesy of Jose_Ke. Shout out to them, always providing so many awesome things in the anime and manga world of news. For starters, coming in at number 50 is 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 13. What a way to start the charts, with 13,000 copies. Okay, then. Then we got, let's see, Tokyo Revengers Volume 25, another 14,000. Already broke the million. Cool stuff. Undead Unluck Volume 10. Okay, so the sales of if you just watched the segment prior to this one of things not looking great, the sales for Volume 1 of Ayashimon and everything that we talked about on that one was for 3 days. So still, even for Undead Unluck, in 3 days, 14,000 is not the greatest in the world. I'm wondering what a full week would have done. I'm guessing Ayashimon maybe would have done 15 at max, which isn't too bad, but in combination with the fact that they're putting it in the back of the magazine, and it's still not looking great. But yeah, Undead Unluck, its latest volume in 3 days, 14,000. That still doesn't look great. Likewise with Mission Yozakura Family's latest volume, volume 12, doing 15,000 in 3 days. It's outdoing Undead Unluck, which says a lot. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of Undead Unluck, but that's still not the greatest in the world. What the hell is at number 42? Bite Maker Osama no Omega volume 9, 15,000, bringing its total to 34,000, okay? And then rounding off 50 through 41, Jujutsu Kaisen volume 0 with another 16,000. So Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the film, still bringing in sales. Then let's go 40 to 31, and I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, the translators, but I ain't reading some of these titles. Like number 40, S-Rank Monsters no Behemoth Dakedo no. I'm not reading all that, I'm sorry. No. I'll read 39 though, because why does that look like a young Gojo or some shit? Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu volume 1, 16,689 first volume. What is that? It says it's a seinen supernatural mystery, and I might have found something to read, because that sounds interesting. Art looks dope, character design looks cool. Okay, then we got moving forward, Jujutsu Kaisen at 36. Let's keep going up. All of these really long ass names that I'm not gonna pronounce, like Suterare da. No, we're not doing that. We're not struggling. I'm sorry, fam. Then we got volumes or places 30 through 21. Oshinoko volume 7, 23,000. Ayakashi Triangle volume 8, 24,000. In 3 days, Ayakashi Triangle, it's starting to become a hit. I mean, it's outselling by volume 8. It's outselling a lot of other contenders. So 24,000 in 3 days. It probably would have done maybe closer to 40 by a full week, which is not bad at all. Oh, another Railgun manga, volume 17, 9 days, 25,000 this week, bringing us total to 50,000. Dope. A Dragon Quest Dino Daiboken, Yusha Avon. Okay, I think that's the Avon spinoff manga. 26,000 in 3 days. Dope. Jujutsu Kaisen, more in there. Gallery Fake, volume 36. Some of these manga be going forever. I've never even heard of Gallery Fake, and it has 36 volumes. My Hero Academia at number 22, with volume 33, bringing a total of 27 this week to bring it to, it's almost at 700,000, 691. Next week, it'll definitely break 700,000. Uma Musume Cinderella Grey volume 6, 27,000. Okay, then we got 20 through 11 places. Coffee and Vanilla Volume 19. That looks like a romance manga, maybe. Okay. Sakamoto Days Volume 6. 28,785 in 3 days. That's great. Sakamoto's continue to rise, and that's like one of the only newbies that is actually rising in sales. Moving up, Marshall in 3 days, 42,000. So Marshall is starting to simmer. I think in a full week, it would have done about 60, maybe 65 to even 70 possible. But I remember Marshall was doing 100K in a full-on week. So it's definitely starting to drop a little bit, while Blue Box is rising in 3 days. Volume 4 did 42,000. That's out of here. That's going to be the next one. It's doing great 4 volumes in, and its total sales right now is great as well. Then let's jump over to top 10. It's been a while since we've seen a new volume from Dawn to Dawn. In 3 days, 51,000. So it probably would have done anywhere from 60 to 80 in its full week. I'm guessing maybe 80 is a bit much. Maybe 60 to 70, maybe somewhere around there if it had its full 7 days, but that's still great, and Don Don's still awesome. It's been a little quiet, though. It's been a little bit quiet lately for Don Don. I want to hear a little more noise. I need to get back into it. At number 9, Kingdom Volume 64 with 52,000, bringing his total to 548,000. Kingdom, the author of Kingdom, he's so good. Yo, he's so good that he been eating forever, because mangaka, they eat off their volumes, and considering everything else failed around Kingdom, but the manga, and the manga's always sold well, he's been aight. We got some Bungo Stray Dogs in there, a Gundam manga. Kido Senshi Gundam Thunderbolt Volume 9. Okay, that's been going for a minute, yeah. Dr. Stone Volume 25 in 3 days, 75,000 basically, 74,980. So dope stuff there. Tokyo Avengers Volume 26, another 80K, 784,000 totaled for this volume in, 18 days? Doing amazing. Then we got Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, 88,000. God damn, in 9 days, 152,000. I told you guys, that thing has a fan base. That does. Then we got Aoashi Volume 27. It looks like it's a soccer manga, 105,000 in 7 days. And coming in at number 1 with, which that's kind of low considering it's only 3 days though, so I guess that makes sense. Kaiju number 8 Volume 6 in 3 days, 269,000. Kaiju number 8 usually does like double that. So again, maybe it could be also it's only 3 days. So a lot of these things feel, because it's only 3 days, I don't like judging them per se. Like I'm starting to come to that conclusion when I do these things of like, I don't want to necessarily be too harsh considering it's only 3 days. What about if on day 4, 100,000 people found out about it for some reason and ran out and got it? So I don't want to be too harsh with them. I think they all did aight numbers for the most part. I just wish that the sales were a better reflection, like we had a full-on week to be able to determine what they're looking like, but still phenomenal, and Kaiju number 8 still going strong. But yeah, people, those were the top 50 best-selling manga volumes of the week. Very, very nice list, to say the least. A lot of really dope stuff out there. Next up, let's talk a little bit about something that's been trending over the last few days that was actually very, I don't want to say disturbing, I don't want to say disgusting, maybe disappointing, but then if I was disappointed, it would mean that I had expectations that it wouldn't go this route, because essentially people are slandering Berserk and the late, great Kentaro Miura, and I caught wind of it a little bit later than when it was actually in action, because if it was in action, I probably would have spazzed the fuck out. You can't talk about a goat like Kentaro Miura, especially, he passed away. You out of your goddamn mind. But Kentaro Miura, like, he made Berserk. He made Berserk. Like, I don't understand. Someone over on Twitter, which I'm going to hide their identity because I'm not trying to send anybody to attack or slander or anything like that, but they found an issue. A few people at that found an issue over there on Twitter regarding Berserk. They found one panel in particular from Berserk, which definitely looks a little bit crazy, a little bit graphic. I probably will even blur it here on YouTube. However, because of that, they went wild, and it started off with, like, where is the entertainment in this? Them criticizing it, and then another person chimed in, I'm not pro-censorship, but how is this legal? Especially in a world where male violence against women is still an extremely real problem. Misogyny, in this case violent and gratuitous depictions of femicide, not only isn't taken seriously, but gets treated as entertainment. And a few people were upset about that, you know, clapping back. I still can't believe Berserk got trending because one person thought the villains doing bad things was bad, and another thought that the writer's death was deserved because of that. Yeah, somebody actually legitimately was like, yo, he deserved to be dead for the depictions that he showed in his really dark and twisted story that was, you know, entertainment. Like, at the end of the day, Berserk is a story in the Middle Ages, medieval times. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit, like, I get it, whereas something that is, like, reflective of modern society, right? Like, an anime that takes place in modern days, and then you're doing some questionable stuff, and you could argue, where are you trying to gear these things towards? But Berserk was always one of those mangas that, I didn't even get into Berserk myself until I was about, like, 19 and 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? I heard about it, whatnot, I wasn't really all that interested, and then I got into it later, and I was like, yeah, I can see that. So in terms of, yeah, it's absolutely graphic, but That's the reason why, for example, look, hold on. Let me just, right here. You see this Berserk volume? One of the reasons what they do is so that little kids don't have to see that panel. There's plastic, so that in the bookstores, people that shouldn't be reading this stuff won't be. Get it in focus. You see that? Parental advisory sticker and a plastic to cover it. Get out of here with that nonsense, that social justice warrior bullshit, censorship bull. Like, yo, there is occasions where censorship is valid. I'm not going to deny that. There are some instances where, yeah, you probably should have put some nasty, sick, and twisted shit in certain aspects, in certain mediums. But with this in particular, while there is some wild and disturbing stuff, it's not meant for children. And if a kid got their hands on it, then it's the fault of the parents. Bottom line, bar none, because parental advisory and a wrap all around it. And I'm not saying that either because I look on the opposite side of the spectrum because I'm a parent myself. I'm not saying that parents need to be with their children 24/7, but yeah, it's kind of your fault. It's sealed up, and yeah, I can't believe that they're going at a fictional story that is dark, meant to be kept away from children, and roasting it and going in on Twitter. It's Twitter, though. This is something we all know what happens at this particular point. Twitter. Shout outs to Berserk. Kentaro Miura forever. Anybody coming for Kentaro Miura, the late great? Okay, people, next up, some people have been like, yo, Fornev, what happened to some of those wacky stories you used to cover in the long episodes of FORNEVERNEWS? Which, by the way, in case you don't know, long episodes of FORNEVERNEWS still happen. I take the Monday through Friday episodes. If you missed any of them, you missed all of them. And boom, go on Saturdays to the FORNEVERNEWS channel, full-on channel dedicated for the long episodes of FORNEVERNEWS. You get all of this and then some on Saturdays. So go over to that channel and subscribe. Just a quick little plug. But yeah, people were like, yo, dog, Fornev, where's the funny stories? Where's the interesting stories? Where's the stuff about, like, you know, Japanese culture, or what happened to those? Well, this one was kind of funny. It sounds like Godzilla's coming to get us. According to this, it says here, Japan's killing stone, said to contain a chaotic evil demon for 1,000 years, has been split in half. As if the world doesn't have enough problems, people are now worried that an evil demon locked in a rock for almost 1,000 years is on the loose. The so-called killing stone that kept the malevolent spirit imprisoned all this time has split in two, sending believers into a state of panic. Japanese legend has it that anyone who comes into contact with the rock will die. According to mythology, the volcanic rock, officially called Seshoseki, is home to Tamamo no Mae, aka the nine-tailed fox. Yo, Kurama's coming, it's over. Kurama had a baby, oh my god. The demon apparently took the form of a beautiful woman who was part of a plot to kill Emperor Toba, ruler of Japan from 1107 to 1123. Now a furious Japanese spirit is freed from its killing stone. Oh my god, Kurama! Yo, Nine-Tailed Fox incoming. Where's Naruto? Where's Minato? Where's Obito? Obito broke the rock. No. I ain't gonna lie, that is a little bit freaky. It definitely makes you like, yo, so for like 1,000 years, motherfuckers was petrified and scared to death of this rock, and now this rock broke open, and it means that potentially what people were scared of for 1,000 years could come after. That is kind of nuts, and I ain't gonna lie, it just kind of had me a little bit trippy. Like, I always hear some really wild stuff, like even in like Netflix documentaries and everything about stuff in Japan. Like, they be having some wild stuff, and that right there, first of all, who cracked that rock? I'm gonna crack their head. Like, what are you doing, dog? Why would you do that? Why you want to hurt us, dog? Some people just want to see the world burn. But yeah, people, so Kurama's coming for us. Essentially, Godzilla was a lie. It was Kurama all along, and an egg hatched, and here we are 1,000 years later. To you 2,000 years later. Well, it's to you 1,000 years later. The Titans are coming. I don't really know. But at the end of the day, it is a legend, and we don't know the validity of it and why, for that matter. I guess I'd have to go study that up and look a little more into it, of why for 1,000 years people thought that. What did it initially? You know what I'm saying? What was the catalyst to those thoughts to begin with? But yeah, people, I wanted to include a wacky, crazy story about a 2,000-year-old rock that people were scared of and thought was demonic and shit has been busted open, and the demons are coming through. Maybe that's what, you know, all this stuff that we're seeing now in anime and whatnot, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, all of these spirits and creepy shit, is because that rock is inspiring people for those thoughts. I'm just saying, conspiracy theory activated. Okay, people, and last story of the episode, in case you haven't been following, in case you don't know, the massive Goliath of a series known as Attack on Titan, aka Shingeki no Kyojin, officially ends in 2 episodes, and there's a little bit of a hubbub going in the community, a little bit of people talking and discussing and wondering what's about to happen, because in case you don't know, there's a shit ton of chapters to adapt for the next 2 episodes that is not going to be able to fit. It's just literally impossible. Essentially, the way people are looking at it is, if everything goes according to the speculation, that after these 2 episodes, there's still going to be technically about 9 chapters worth of material for the manga, and it's making people assume that we're going to get one final film to wrap everything up, although I'm not going to be sure if that's going to be able to do it properly. And what I mean by that is as follows. Well, for starters, the last 2 episodes, it's going to, for the most part, it's going to be alright stuff, and it's going to wrap things up. And also, I've noticed ever since the big thing that has been, foreshadowed forever now and Attack on Titan actually started, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, the anime. I remember in the manga, I was on the edge of my seat every week, and ever since that started, it slowed down and simmered down just a little bit. But nevertheless, with all that being said, they're gonna have to cover a decent amount of stuff with the next 2 episodes, but there's no way possible that they could cover all of this. But also, right, with those 9 chapters, hypothetically speaking, they're going to do a movie, right? Let's just say, for example, it hasn't been confirmed, there's nothing, I'm just saying a hypothetical. They're going to go the route of, we're going to do a final film for Attack on Titan, and assuming that it has those 9 chapters. Here's the thing, those are 9 monthly chapters, which a monthly chapter would be about like 40 something pages, which feels like about 3 or 2.5 or 3.5, somewhere around there. It's like 2.5 to 3 chapters of weekly stuff, essentially. So you think about, let's just say, let's do the math, 2.5 chapters, 2.5 times like 18 alone, that's over 18, that's over 20 chapters worth of material that needs to be adapted into a movie. If I'm not mistaken, I think Demon Slayer Mugen Train film was like, what was it, 6 chapters? Maybe I'm totally off on that, but hey, 9 monthly chapters into a film. I guess there's also the thing to take into account that a lot of those chapters was straight up action that will translate within a couple of minutes. Like a full-on chapter might be able to get pushed through within a minute or 2 or some shit like that, because it's straight up majority action, or not a minute or 2, but within 5-10 minutes, a lot of these chapters can be straight up drowned in, because again, it's a lot of action, not much dialogue. So maybe they can get it done, but yeah, nevertheless, the big news is that Attack on Titan ends in 2 episodes, and there's just no way they're going to be able to fill in all of the manga content in there. And even in fact, if they do a final film, unless they do 2 films or a really long final film, and I'm talking about like 3 hours or so, things could be messy, but we gotta wait and see. Either way, Attack on Titan, the Goliath that it's been running from 2013 on, the anime comes to an end within 2 episodes, and potentially a movie is going to follow, because there's no way they can adapt all of the manga into those final 2 episodes. There's just too much. I hate to start it off like this, because normally, you want to start it off with either something, a joke or something of importance, and while this definitely is important to a certain degree, especially it gives a little bit, I guess, of an eye-opener for people out there that are in the field of this type of thing that we're going to talk about here in a second, because ultimately we're starting the episode talking about, get ready for this. Y'all ready? Yeah, hey, drum roll please. Can I get a drum roll? Naruto / Boruto and NFTs. That's right, people. We're going to be talking about that for a second. And no, it's not that I'm trying to sell you anything. Oh, no. I'm talking about it's in the news, because apparently there's been some scandals going on with NFTs, and people saying, hey, these are the official Naruto / Boruto NFTs. And considering, which for starters, above all else, I think for the most part, from majority of what I've seen with people outside of creatives such as myself, and there are a few out there of people that see it like the way other people see it. For the most part, a lot of people really hate the idea of NFTs. A lot of people really just hate NFTs in general and hate hearing about it and all that jazz. And I understand whether it's something that you don't like and you don't like a transition. Like initially, I was very skeptical of crypto, and I'm still a little bit leery of crypto, because you invest in it, all of a sudden it's down, and you're like, ay Dios mío, I just lost $2,000 on Doge. True story. But no, seriously, when it comes to this whole scandal right here, I'm guessing that it's good that they're putting out an announcement, but also I'm imagining they want to clear the air, because probably at some given point, I'm imagining they're going to announce official Naruto / Boruto NFTs as well, considering I think over there in Japan they've already done like Fist of the North Star NFTs. I believe we reported over here on ForneverWorld. So they're probably like, hey, no, don't get scammed, because we're gonna get you with our NFTs. Yeah. Anyway, let's read so we can get a clearer vision, and then we'll talk more. The official Boruto anime Twitter account posted notices in Japanese, Chinese, and English on Friday warning of unlicensed NFTs, non-fungible tokens, because that's totally gonna really give people an idea of what it actually even is. Using the Naruto / Boruto franchise names, the English tweet states, "We have been receiving inquiries regarding the authenticity of the information that spreads via the internet about officially licensed NFT artifacts and games based on Naruto. No license has been issued to authorize such products. Please watch out for false information. A number of anime and manga franchises have received official NFT tie-ins in recent months, but the practice of attaching art to NFTs has also attracted concern in art communities around potential scams, money laundering, and their environmental impact. Because yeah, I have heard, which I haven't looked fully into any of this and whatnot, but I have heard that NFTs harm the environment, so that's something that I definitely wanted to look into. Again, I don't know how valid that is, how true that is, but a lot of people tell me that that's the case, so I do want to do my Googles over that. But in particular, I still, from everything I've heard, the benefits of it, of NFTs, I still don't like to just say, hey, it's a horrible, terrible thing. Like, that's just me as far as being a creative, as far as artists and stuff like that. If this is a way that people are now using in terms of a monetary transaction, you know, goods for services and whatnot, like, there's so many endless possibilities for creatives and artists to, you know what I'm saying, kind of make it. I'm a very big advocate, and if there's anything that I stand on over here is the fact that I want to one day get rid of the idea and the concept of, in order to be an artist you need to be starving. Like the idea of the starving artist, I want that to be a thing of the past, and people be like, remember when people used to say the starving artist? Now people be painting portraits and making millions. Like, I want it to be in that aspect. However, I do understand that there is a lot of negativity involved in the NFT space as well. Of course, there's going to be scams and all that jazz. I think we're in the initial stages of it, you know what I'm saying? It's just getting started. A lot of it, you know, it's fly-by-night stuff. I mean, look at the internet back in the day when it was way more into the wild west of do what you want, say what you want, and stuff like that. So we're still moving and navigating. But in terms of the NFT, I feel like for creatives, it's just such a benefit. It's such a great and a positive thing for creatives. But again, I get it that there's a lot of negatives to it. I want to be clear about that. I'm kind of like in the middle. Even though being in the middle, you're still going to get attacked. People saying, yo, you don't know shit about NFTs. Why are you even talking about it? And people saying, yo, FORNEV, man, you got to stop supporting that shit. Why are you even trying to give it a platform? What are you doing? I like anime and manga. Like, yeah. Yeah, people, if you have purchased a Naruto / Boruto NFT, it is not authentic and it's not officially released from over there, from Shueisha, from anybody involved and whatnot. It is not official. You have been duped. I guess wait for them to announce whatever they're gonna do. Like, that would be so dope to own it, but again, it's not even necessarily ownership. And that's the thing, when I started understanding a little bit more about NFTs, like, you own it in terms of you own that copy that is stored somewhere on a computer. But in terms of trademark and copyright, that's a whole other argument and a whole other battle, that if NFTs really become a serious mainstay, the courts are going to have a nightmare trying to figure out how to even classify and put laws and woo. But yeah, people, I don't know, I've extended this way too long in terms of we're talking about NFTs here, but I like to, you know, dabble into a little bit of stuff outside of things while it's still tied to the overall story of, hey, it's an anime manga related story. We're talking about Naruto, Boruto, that tied into what we've been kind of digging into with the NFT space. But also we're talking about art and anime manga's art, and leave me alone, just enjoy the show. Now, next up we have as our special guest, oh, that's right, we don't really have guests. Like, that's something I really want to start incorporating more. Shout outs to my guys at Plot Armor for being, I guess, technically, are they the first ForneverNews guests? I want to have more. I want to do more. I want to do interviews. I want to do a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, we're getting sidetracked. Move on, Fornev. And next up on the docket is a massive update on the whole situation of Toei Animation and all of their anime essentially being put on quote-unquote indefinite hiatus. In case you haven't heard, essentially Toei Animation were hacked. Hackers went through and corrupted files and did a whole bunch of stuff to their servers, ruining countless things from their episodes of their anime and God knows what else, ultimately putting next week's episode and moving forward just in general a bunch of their anime titles from Toei Animation on indefinite hiatus, and that includes anime like One Piece, Digimon, and Dragon Quest Dai as well, and anything they may have in the tuck. I don't know what these hackers got their hands on, but you know, if they happen to get their hands on the Dragon Ball superhero film, that would be devastating. Like, hey, although I'd imagine that's probably been secretly distributed by now, so there's nothing probably they could have done there. But in terms of if they are working on some Dragon Ball Super anime for the future, if they're working on, you know, another Saint Seiya, whatever it is, they could have messed things up, and these things take months. So it could be, we could go a year without One Piece anime, we could go a year without Digimon anime. But let's anyway get into the update that we got on this, because again, it's a scary situation, and even thinking about it honestly gets me like, yo dog, it's not that I'm a religious follower of the One Piece anime week to week. Sometimes I just sit back for a year and then I binge 50 episodes or something like that. A world without One Piece. Wow. Even though I know at some given point that is an inevitability because One Piece has to end. But anyway, let's get into it. Because according to this, it says One Piece Digimon Ghost Game will not air new episodes on March 20th. The official Twitter accounts for the One Piece and Digimon Ghost Game anime announced on Tuesday that Fuji TV will not air new episodes of the two shows on March 20th due to the Toei Animation hack. Fuji TV will air a rerun of the special episode Barto's Secret Room recap special of One Piece instead on March 20th, and the announcement stated the channel plans to air more quote-unquote Wano Country Best Selection rerun or recap episodes after that. Fuji TV will re-air the first episode of Digimon Ghost Game on March 20th, and the announcement stated the channel plans to air more Digimon Ghost Game Selection rerun episodes after that. And before we carry on, I just wanted to alert you guys, in case you didn't know, about 65% of people watching this video right now aren't subscribed, and it's kind of crazy because it really helps the channel a lot if you would just hit that button, subscribe, hit that bell to get all notifications. And yeah, we drop new episodes of FORNEVERNEWS Monday through Friday, and I would just greatly appreciate it if you would support by just hitting those buttons and getting notified when we drop new episodes. But yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get back to the story. Both Twitter accounts stated staff will reveal at a later date when the two anime will resume airing new episodes. Fuji TV did not air new episodes of One Piece and Digimon Ghost Game on Sunday due to the pre-planned broadcast. So yeah, people, things aren't looking the greatest. I mean, thankfully they didn't say like, yo, this is years worth of disaster. So we don't know exactly how much they destroyed, because again, if they destroyed, let's just say, a year's worth of episodes for each anime that they have in production, it would put possibly Toei into bankruptcy. They would lose millions of dollars because it costs millions of dollars to create anime. So yeah, I'm just really going to keep on, like, because at the end of the day, I don't want Toei to go under neither. Like, just because at the end of the day, there's still a lot of people, maybe the corporation has had some issues and have done some, you know, questionable things in the anime and manga community in terms of against creators, but there's like a bajillion people that whose jobs would be lost if, you know what I'm saying, Toei was to go under. So absolutely don't want that either. And then of course there's fans that, yo, they want their One Piece anime. I want my One Piece anime, you know what I'm saying? And it seems as though what they're really stressing is One Piece and Digimon are the ones that are affected. So did Dragon Quest die end already? Maybe I'm off the grid of it. I don't think so. I don't remember seeing an announcement about it, but yeah, I need to catch up at some given point. But that's a side note. Either way, basically the update is they're going to be on hiatus and they don't have any idea of when they're going to come back, but they will be, I guess, over there in Japan airing reruns, which is a big deal. Reruns are a big deal over there in Japan, so they'll be airing reruns of One Piece for the time being, which I guess this will also benefit the manga in a way, right? Like, because at the end of the day, if the anime has to take a long hiatus, it'll allow the manga to stack up chapters, so I guess there's a benefit there. But in general, it's a chaotic situation, and whoever did that, wow, like some wild stuff, fam. I ain't gonna lie, crazy. Moving forward, people, let's jump into the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. I'm excited about these, and the reason I'm excited is because coming in number one, because they had the cover of the magazine this week, Yuki Tabata's Black Clover. Yuki Tabata said, the only thing I can say is sorry to have caused everyone so much trouble. I'll work even harder for year 8. Which, that's something to be noted right there. That's something we got to talk about right there. That probably could take a little chunk here, but we're going to get into it. Because if he's talking about, like, yo, year 8, that means that he's planning on, like, he doesn't at the very least plan on ending Black Clover anytime soon. And maybe if he's saying things like that, he knows that he's going into year 8. So I guess this is a positive thing. I guess this is a great thing in terms of for the Black Clover manga and Black Clover manga fans. And kind of put some worries at ease. At the very least, he's going for year 8, and it doesn't sound like any indications have been brought to him that year 8 won't happen, because if not, why would he say that? Because then later on he'd have to put his foot in his mouth. So it looks like Yuki Tabata has not been told like, yo, hey, you got a year's worth to go and wrap things up or anything like that. So essentially, if he's talking about year 8, we could very well be living in a world come 1 year from now with no My Hero Academia and Black Clover going strong, moving into a year 9 and 10 and shit like that. Like, wow, either that or, again, because My Hero Academia thing is questionable, they could decide to do a big time skip and rebrand of the series in general. That is a possibility. And, you know, imagine, just think about it, for especially the female fandom that they've curated over there, they could essentially like make the characters older, even more like for the female eye and stuff like that. Like, they could do some really big things. But yeah, either way, Black Clover, it seems as though Yuki Tabata said he's trying to go to year 8. I respect it. He's not giving up at all. That's admirable. Moving forward, we got Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. He said, the One Piece restaurant food you can get delivered from the menu app is delicious. Can't wait to order again. What a humble guy, you know, promoting his thing. Such a suave thing. The way he said it too, I love it. Like, very suave promo. He doesn't say, hey, please check out my restaurant. He does it in a very, just smart. He integrates it very, very, very smart. Shoutouts to Oda. Then let's move forward. We're going to go down to Hajime Komodo, author of Martial Magic and Muscles. May the world be peaceful. I like that. That's the energy I'm on. Yeah. Let the world be peaceful. Okay, yeah, what am I doing? Anyway, Gen Osuka, author of Doran Dororan. I'm always grinning, even in serious situations. I'd like to fix this. Then we got Yuto Suzuki, author of Sakamoto Days. I got 4 cancer sores. They're so painful, and I can't help but touch them with my tongue. Oh yeah, the swords thing. Oh god. Ooh, let's move on. We got Kohei Horikoshi, author of My Hero Academia. I drew this chapter while thinking it'd be nice to have lots of hands. I want lots of hands. Now that's a double entendre there. Shout outs to Kohei Horikoshi. He might have been a rapper in another life. Because he's saying he wants a lot of hands. Obviously the hand situation. So it could be also him making a reference to something that's about to happen or is happening in terms of Shigaraki, hands, ha ha ha, you know, the hands all over it. But that reminds me of Kishimoto, and it honestly sounds like to me that Horikoshi is where Masashi Kishimoto was during the 4th Great Shinobi War mentally, in terms of, it sounds like he wants to wrap this up. Like, that really screams to me, I want to end this, and I wish I had more hands to end this. Kohei Horikoshi might have bit off more than he can chew, and might be ready to wrap things up and ready to go, and maybe that's why things feel so rushed right now, because he's probably like, yo, dog, I want out. I want out. Maybe he's over it. I don't know, but him saying that, it's very reminiscent of Masashi Kishimoto saying that his one jutsu he wish he could have would be the Shadow Clone Jutsu, so that he could have more people working on his manga and get it done a lot quicker. So I want to send a little bit of positive vibes and all of that good energy towards Kohei Horikoshi, because that means that he's probably at a point of, I want to wrap this up and I'm so sick of this. Just my 2 cents. I could be wrong about this, but time will tell, I guess, right? You know, Yuki Tabata is talking about year 8. Kohei Horikoshi's like, I want more hands because I want this over, essentially. And last but not least, dead last on the TOC, Yuji Kaku. I bought a professional pan for frying, and now I can fry everything much better. Oh yeah, they're canceling it. Yeah, it's getting canceled. Absolutely gonna get canceled. And I hate to say it, and I hope I'm wrong. And if people say, oh, you said Ayashimon was absolutely gonna get canceled, it looks that way right now, and I hope it changes, and I hope things look different, but it's getting canceled. Yeah. Last place, selling 8,000 it's getting canceled. Absolutely. R.I.P. Ayashimon. Yuji Kaku, go back to Hell's Paradise, I guess, in Jump Plus, or launch a new story in Jump Plus. Stay away from Jump, because clearly they're not appreciating your greatness, and it's wild how many people were shitting on Doran and praising Ayashimon, but it looks like Doran is going to be the one that sticks around, and Ayashimon is going to be going. And I'm not happy about it by any means. I'm upset about it. I'm disappointed. I want Ayashimon to win. It is amazing. It is awesome. It is... But yeah, people, those were the Weekly Shonen Jump author comments. Those were fun. There was a lot to be had from those. I could have made a whole video dissecting each comment there alone. Like, really awesome stuff in this one. Okay, people, next up, a small update for the Spy X family, or Spy Family. From now on, if you hear me talking about the series, I'm gonna pronounce it as Spy Family, because most people said it's like Hunter x Hunter, where the X is silent. It's not Hunter x Hunter, it's just Hunter x Hunter. Spy Family, because here we got the Spy Family TV anime new key visual, which was released, I want to say probably a week ago now, maybe a few days ago at this point, but I'm finally getting around to talking about it. And yeah, it looks, you know, alright. I ain't gonna lie, it's nothing like out of this world. I'm expecting it to be, first of all, quality wise, art and animation to be like on top of the world, because first of all, it's a combo. I want to say it's Studio Wit and another company. Was it Lurch? I forget which company it was, but I believe Studio Wit is doing a co-production for this one, or was it Cloverworks? I can't remember, but either way, so they're the ones working together. And again, it looks dope. I love the reflection of, you see on one side it's like a happy family, father with the suit on, mother, little daughter, and then on the other side he's an assassin, she's an assassin, the little girl is, you know, bugged out. So cool stuff. Just overall dope visual, and I'm excited for this one. I know my family and myself are gonna watch this. This is family anime. This is, anybody could watch this, and yeah, just a cool little new visual for the upcoming anime. Can't wait. Okay, people, and last story of the episode, something that a lot of fans have been waiting for quite some time. Y'all know when the pandemic hit, a lot of anime were pushed back, and one of which that got pushed back for a long time was Rising of the Shield Hero. Well, after being pushed back for so long, we finally got some updates on it and the exact release date, and I can't freaking wait. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very, very excited for this, because I was really, really enjoying it. Although I gotta add this real quick, because I've never done like a big video on Rising of the Shield Hero. I never really got a chance to talk about it in depth, but I will say I'm curious how the series is going to go moving forward, because one of the biggest things about that first season and shortly after it didn't feel the same anymore was I loved at the very least that whole revenge angle of everything that Mine had done to the main character, and him not necessarily doing a like redo of Healer, because that's a whole different type of story, but just in general, after he got his, you know, get backs, so to speak, it kind of feels like it transforms into an entirely different story. I'm starting to notice that with a few different isekai as well, now I think about it, like Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. It started off a little bit different and then kind of went a different direction, and it feels like Rising of the Shield Hero is doing the same thing. But I mean, some of the stuff was still epic, and there was still overall arcing plot points that needed to be addressed, like, you know, the whole point of fighting everything and all these wars and shit like that. So there's those aspects, but I am curious to see how it's going to go moving forward. The whole main thing that had me interested to begin with, the fact that Mine did him dirty, set him up, and how is he going to come back from that? But it says here, the Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 broadcast kicks off on April 6th. The follow-up to the Rising of the Shield Hero anime is finally almost upon us, and the latest update is here with broadcast timing for Japan. The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 is officially set to kick off on April 6th in Japan, with Crunchyroll to simulcast the episodes shortly after they debut. As previously reported, Mad Kid will perform the opening theme, Bring Back, and Chiya Fujikawa will perform the ending theme, Yuzerenai. So yeah, it's going to be some returning performances, but just in general, I'm excited. I want to see where they're going to go with this. Raftalia, like, there's so many different aspects of this one, and it's been a little bit since I've seen it, to be honest with you. Like, I caught it late, but still, it feels like forever ago now that I'm starting to, like, there was Raftalia. What was the main character's name? What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he was pretty cool. Either way, yes, Rising of the Shield Hero, April 6th, Season 2. It is finally here. It's been a couple years in the making. It feels like a century, but it's finally on its way, and let's freaking go. That's next season. Next season's going to be pretty good, because considering this season, for the most part, it was rocking, especially when we had Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan on Sundays. Like, it was rocking. Next season is not looking that bad either. There's certain things in this world, certain pieces of knowledge that is essentially a privilege to obtain. Like, for example, like to just be in somebody's life that maybe they're, you know, seen as a great person and they've done great deeds, and just to be in their life is somewhat of, I guess you would say, a privilege, right? Or just knowing the fact that, let's just say, I don't know, somebody's pregnant. That's a privilege, right? Ultimately, that's a very important and intimate secret that a mother, you know, decides to, if they want to or not, share, or when they're ready or whatnot. Either way, this is something precious. And by no means am I putting what I'm about to say on the level of that. I'm just saying that there's things in this world that are just knowing about it very important to people. And one of those things when it comes to the world of anime and manga in particular is knowing the secret of what is the One Piece. And it's something that is like, yo, we always talk about it. A lot of people joke about it. Oda has kind of somewhat confirmed that at the very least it's not going to be the whole concept of, hey, the One Piece is the friends you made along the way, because that would be disastrous. That would be like on some My Little Pony type of like, Oda, please, for the love of God, there's just no way you're going to end the series like that. So absolutely, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, Oda sticks to his word with saying that, yo, that's not going to happen. But still, the One Piece, you know what I'm saying, we're 1,040 plus chapters as of the recording of this video, still wondering what the hell that sacred treasure is, and what the final island is, and what is it that made Roger laugh. And there's just so many different aspects of One Piece right now that leaves you just with question marks. And with this story in particular, Oda, the creator of One Piece, he rarely gives that insight to people. He rarely tells people. It's a very, very, I guess you would say, hard and well-kept secret. They don't tell many people what the One Piece is. It's a need-to-know basis. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, only very rarely do some editors even get that idea of what One Piece is, because, you know, they don't want it to get out. Like, all it takes is one person to leak it out, and years and decades worth of work will be down the drain if this is the same idea Oda had of what the One Piece would be all the way back in 90-something. I wonder if secretly throughout the years Oda has changed what One Piece will be. Like, maybe initially he started off and it was just going to be treasure, then halfway down the road it was going to be a weapon, then where we're at right now he's changing it to something else. Like, you will never know, obviously, unless he came out in an interview and said, yeah, no, initially One Piece was going to be a box of treasure, and then secondly I was going to make it a joke like it's a box of porn mags. Like, you never know. However, according to this, seemingly Eiichiro Oda has entrusted an editor as a birthday present with the secret of One Piece. And before we even jump into the details of it all, I just gotta say how much of a present that is if you really think about it. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I would be mind blown if I knew what the One Piece was right now. But also, there's the burden of knowing what the One Piece is, and millions of people have no freaking idea and would love to know and would swear and would do anything in their power to find out. So now you got this burden on your shoulders of knowing what the actual One Piece is, and people desperately wanting to know and bothering you about it. And until One Piece ends, you're going to be the subject of, yo, tell me about the One Piece, what is it? So yeah, I guess what a birthday present. But let's read and we'll talk some more. By the way, Fornev from the future here, I've come to tell you that your timeline will go drastically wrong if you don't hit the subscribe button and hit that bell to get all notifications. The future is disastrous, all because you didn't subscribe to that channel, dog. Subscribe to ForneverWorld right now. Get that ForneverNews. The future needs you. We need you over here. Please help us. Subscribe. One Piece creator shares secret of the One Piece for birthday celebration. The biggest mystery of Eiichiro Oda's masterpiece of an anime franchise, One Piece, has been what the secret treasure that so many swashbucklers have been searching for quite some time in the One Piece. In the latest arc of the series, the Wano arc, a flashback saw the legendary pirate and former king of pirates, Goldie Roger, discovering the One Piece for the first time and laughing as a result of its discovery. Now it seems that to help celebrate an editor's birthday, Oda himself shared the secret as to what the biggest treasure of the Grand Line is. Since first setting sail to becoming the king of the pirates, Monkey D. Luffy's been working under the assumption that managing to discover the One Piece treasure will solidify his crown within the world of the Grand Line. So far there hasn't been many hints as to what the treasure might actually be, but considering that Roger threw back his head and laughed once he saw it, we would imagine that it wouldn't be something as predictable as gold and jewels at this point. It's clear that Eiichiro Oda has known the secret for quite some time, and it will be interesting if the conclusion of the Wano arc reveals what the legendary treasure actually is. And in a recent interview with Iwasaki Yuji, an editor for One Piece's manga, it was revealed that Eiichiro Oda had previously told him what the One Piece treasure was as a part of his birthday celebration, with said editor revealing that it was an amazing moment for him while dodging the question of who would be the next member of the Straw Hat Pirates. Again, that's a lot of responsibility. Like, imagine knowing all the secrets of One Piece, and like everybody knows you know all the secrets of One Piece. I'd be scared. I hear a lot. Low key, like, there's crazy people. Like, imagine, dog, imagine I'm rolling around some people that are nuts. Imagine, like, I'm at a bar and a bunch of people are drunk as hell. A bunch of, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, even though, like, I don't think a bunch of people at a bar is gonna be, well, no, I'm lying. I was gonna say a bunch of people at a bar wouldn't be fans of One Piece, but that's probably a stereotype from, like, 10 years ago that not many people were into anime and manga like that. So, yeah, but the likelihood, especially in the Midwest, is definitely very low that I'm going to run into some One Piece fans at a bar. But either way, imagine dudes run up to me like, yo, dog, tell us what the One Piece is, or you know, you're gonna have a problem. Like that shit would be bananas. I ain't gonna lie. Like, hopefully these editors are very well paid and are very discreet with their movements, because there are people that have severe issues, especially like a stalker or something. Yeah. As Oda has stated that the finale of One Piece is over the horizon, we definitely wouldn't be surprised if the secret behind the legendary treasure is answered before the series finale. And, you know, I'll ask the question, why not? But there's so many crazy theories out there. What do you think the One Piece is at this particular point? Also, I guess the better question is I want to ask that isn't so generic is, do you think that over the years, potentially, secretly, Oda to himself has changed the One Piece? Like, imagine prior to telling somebody, or even if the editors did know, maybe the first editor, he told, like, you know, when he first got started, oh, the One Piece is just like, you know, gold. But maybe by the time, you know, he was on his fourth editor, he was like, oh, well, you know, I kind of told this dude, but, you know, it's a little bit different now. One Piece kind of changed up a little bit, fam. And maybe in his head, he always be playing around like, yo, what about if I just trolled him? Again, just craziness overall. Either way, shout outs to that editor. At the same time, imagine knowing something that's really dope as that, like what the One Piece is. Like, can't wait to find out what it is in another freaking 1,000 trillion years. No, I don't think One Piece will be going on that long. Probably 3 to 4 more years, and it might even still be called Rushed at the end, which will be funny as hell. But yeah, moving forward, fans of Dragon Ball, all of it. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball these Crunchyroll, you're going to be happy. And just in general, if you was thinking about one more reason why you should sign up for the service, this might tip in your favor. Which, by the way, anybody from Crunchyroll watching this, I'm just saying, hit me up, let's work together. I do a little new show over here. We get about, like, you know, 50,000 people damn near every day to watch each one of these episodes, and you know, I'm just saying. But yeah, hit my email, lads. Let's work for real. Like, no, for real, let's work. Anywho, it says here, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are now on Crunchyroll. And again, disclaimer, Super was already available from, was it? I can't remember if it was from Jump or not, but Super's been there for a long time, and I want to say it was Jump because maybe I'm off. I don't know. Either way, Super's been on there probably since the beginning, so of it airing. A huge Crunchyroll catalog edition is here with the arrival of Akira Toriyama's entire Dragon Ball saga. Today marks the launch of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. So now you can watch the entire saga from beginning to end, even though it never really ends because more is coming, but alright. Today's drop includes the sub and dub of Dragon Ball, the dub of Dragon Ball Z, and the sub and dub of Dragon Ball GT. For English speaking, and I gotta say something so bad, but I'm gonna finish this. Regions excluding the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Nordics, start powering up and dive in below. And again, it's just imagery of Dragon Ball Z, GT with links and whatnot. This is 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000,000,000% something very, very important, aside from the fact that, hey, Dragon Ball is available on this platform now. Really, really awesome stuff. This right here 100% confirms what we kind of already can assume, but 1,000,000,000% pushes it through, that Funimation is absolutely dissolving. And what I mean by that, because you're like, yo, what does that do? Dragon Ball has been the one ace in the hole. Dragon Ball Z in particular, but then as time went on, the entire IP from Dragon Ball to Super and where we're at right now with the movie and all that, just like all of that has always been Funimation's ace in the hole, that you could say whatever. 1,000,000 titles will flop, but they'll re-release Dragon Ball Z and make up the profits for all the losses that those titles did. So like if they license 5 of the springtime anime or whatever, and all 5 of them flop, they're just, oh, okay, we're re-releasing Dragon Ball in another version. And granted, don't get me wrong, I've criticized the releases that needed to be criticized, so it's not that I'm saying it's acceptable. I'm saying from a business standpoint, like that's always been their ace in the hole. Funimation is going bye-bye. It's so sad, man. You know, I was just talking to somebody about it. Funimation, for me personally, as a child, I have a special bond with it. If there's a company that I can say from a child that I remember and have a special attachment to, was Funimation, because when I was younger, my mom used to, and I've told this story before, but I really, it's a fond memory of mine. My mom used to take me on Fridays over to Metropolitan Mall, and we would go to a store that used used to exist. I don't think it exists anymore. Sam Goody. And I would go, sometimes she would even let me stay home, have an extended weekend, so to speak. Yo, my mom was just the bomb. She would let me stay home on a Friday, and we would go to Sam Goody. She would let me buy the new Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. The tapes were with episodes way before what was broadcasting on Cartoon Network. And it was just a phenomenal time. And, you know, I'd pop in those tapes and you would see Funimation's logo, and it was just, Funimation was, you know, and it just dawned on me with this whole idea that it's dissolving into Crunchyroll and Sony's umbrella, so to speak, is the fact that Funimation is a company I grew up with. I really did have an attachment. I think that's also why when, like, you know, issues that I don't want to get too much into, to be honest with you, because I try to stay away from drama and all that, but when all this stuff happened a couple of years ago between myself and some of the voice actors that are prominent for, you know, being with Funimation, like Sean Schimmel and Chris Sabat and all that stuff, maybe that's also why personally it struck a lot harder for me, because like, yo, I grew up with, you know, not only Dragon Ball Z with them being the voice, I grew up with it was the whole thing, man. It was the whole Funimation thing. When I used to go to the Dragon Ball Z website back in the day, early 2000s, before, you know, there was no social media or apps or anything like that, and I would see the voice actor, I'd be like, oh god, that's him, wow, that's crazy. And then when it dawned on me that he was Yamcha Piccolo, I was like, oh god, wow, how they do that, how is he voicing two characters? Like, it was mind-blowing to me. So it was the whole Funimation experience from when I was younger, and it's crazy. It's going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye, and we're gonna see the change in the near future of anime. I think in terms of the way we've traditionally had it is once again going to keep on morphing. I think streaming era is going to be here for the next couple decades at the very least, until a new technology is born where there's like, no, now it's holograms, you just, you know, stream the hologram or whatever the case may be. But until we get to that point, the streaming era is definitely here. And yeah, I don't know, I just kind of lost my train of thought. Essentially, Funimation is going away, and sad honestly. For I know there's a lot of people that have the vendettas over all the stuff, the Vic Mignogna stuff and all that, and I get it. I'm talking about for a nostalgic reason, for me growing up and stuff like that. You know, we could even see with Funimation going bye-bye and the ties and relationships and all that it had built and whatnot, we could see really the end, especially with streaming of, again, Toonami, this time for good. Adult Swim and Toonami, like, cable is on its last legs little by little. So yeah, I don't know, it's a new day and age. And yeah, shout outs to the good times that I did have with Funimation, the times where I partnered with Funimation, the times where I used to go to their red carpet events and premieres for the Dragon Ball films. Shout outs to all those times. Shout outs to everybody that was involved in the Funimation experience and the people I met along the way, the Justin Rojas, the Jay Hairston. Like, shout outs to just everybody over there, man, that I met along the way. But it looks like little by little, and not even little by little, it's pretty much a certified time is ticking. Funimation is out the door. Kind of crazy. Okay, people, next up is another kind of sad story. I didn't realize I had them back to back, but we got another sad story. This time it's regarding what happened back in 2019. The Kyo Annie fires. That was very, very devastating. Lost lives that day. It was terrible. An arsonist pretty much burnt down the Kyoto Animation Studio for whatever reasons. And yeah, it was a bad situation, honestly. RIP to all the people that were lost that day over that tragic incident. However, according to this, it seems as though probably Kyoto Animation, at the very least, the way it used to be, will no longer exist. Because it seemingly has closed its doors. It just says here, Kyoto Animation closes physical store permanently. Studio closed after a deadly arson back in 2019. Continued to be closed after due to the COVID. You know, they've done stuff like A Silent Voice, Violet Evergarden, like really beautiful, gorgeous films and stuff. And wow, it's crazy to think that they're closing their doors. They brought big titles, and I know that they're doing things digitally now, and maybe that could be the future, and maybe that, yeah, the physical store is gone, but they're going to go the route that kind of everything feels like it's going inevitably anyway. It feels like little by little people aren't going to work in offices anymore. Everybody's going to work remote. I feel like that's the new direction that the world is heading in, so they're kind of getting a head start. But it's tragic and sad all around. Again, a lot of jobs is going to be lost because if there's no need for them to be in the office, then a lot of jobs are going to be antiquated, and yeah, all around wild stuff. But it's just really sad, man. It's sad that 3 years later, you know, another tragic thing, the doors got to close permanently. It says, again, the physical store, so still more than likely going to be in the fray. It's just not going to be the way it was. And yeah, just again, RP to the people that were lost. Kyoto Animation Studio, just wow, just every time I talk about it, it gets me really emotional and sad. Let's move on. Okay, this next story is a story that, not this story in particular, but a similar story that I've covered several times throughout the years, and I was shocked to see because I was like, in 2022, really? Like, okay, yeah, I've heard of Death Note, right? Death Note, it dropped in Japan like in 07. I think it made its way over here a few years later. I forget how it happened. I wasn't really too active on the scene at that particular point, but, you know, Death Note, long time ago now. It still gets mentioned. It still gets revered as awesome. It's still a dope experience and whatnot, but just in general, Death Note, it almost feels at this point as like it's old school in a way, in a weird way. It does feel that way because, like, just look at it. If let's just say Death Note, okay, came out like 06, 07, we're in 2022. For crying out loud, sometimes I talk about the fact that I'm mind blown that My Hero Academia and Black Clover are like 6-7 years in for each series, which is like they feel like they're new guns. So if they're already kind of like veterans over there in Shonen Jump, then what the hell does that make Death Note from 06, 07? That shit is, I don't want to say a fossil and a dinosaur, but goddamn, it's old at this particular point. So nowadays when I hear this story come up again, I'm like, but are kids really doing that anymore? Like, are kids even watching this show anymore? I mean, I guess technically because anime is massively on the rise and people of all ages are starting to get into the medium and genre, maybe new people are discovering it, and that's what's happening here, which kind of for the most part would make the most sense. But it's just bizarre because basically another student was reprimanded and got in big trouble over a Death Note type of scenario in terms of like writing people's names in a book that says Death Note. Let's read the article. Student disciplined after writing list inspired by Death Note, Rockingham County School says. Rockingham County, NC, a student is being disciplined after writing a Death Note, according to the school district. On Tuesday, staff at Rockingham County Middle School was told about a student writing inappropriate things on a list about how people should pass away. According to the release, the student got the idea from the show, quote-unquote, Death Note. Some students found the list threatening, and the students responsible for the list is being disciplined. RCS says they have their district crisis team working with the school, and they are following established processes for a quote-unquote behavioral threat assessment. They also notified the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, which tweeted that they had investigated the situation and found it did not rise to the level of a crime, and that the school would be handling the situation from there. All students are safe, no student or faculty member were harmed, and no weapons were found. Death Note is a 2006 anime about a teenage boy who discovers a notebook capable of killing anyone whose name is written into it and uses it to kill criminals. It was adapted into live action. Oh shit, I forgot. So yeah, there was a refresher or revival, so to speak, in 2017 with the live action. So it could be that he just saw the live action, having been scrolling through Netflix. Did it say? Wait, so he was a middle school student, if I'm not mistaken, right? That is so strange. How is a middle school student? Middle school. Okay, I'm not gonna be completely like whoa, because at the end of the day, my nephew is middle school and he's been watching anime all his life. But that's the thing, he's been watching anime all his life, and I'm very involved in my nieces and nephews' life to the best of my ability, to where I try my best to teach them, like, yo, you know, and at the end of the day, at this point in life, they kind of already know. It's like, hey, this is your uncle's common sense, this is your family's common sense. The common sense is that this ain't real. So they understand that, and they've been cognitive of that for a long time. So in that aspect, the age thing, should it really be an excuse? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just wondering again how did, like, not every family has Uncle Fornev, you know what I'm saying, to put their middle school kids into anime and shit like that. So again, I'm just like, how? It has to be that damn live action film, yo. But also in general, going back to it, it just feels like, well, what are the details? Has this kid been bullied recently? What did he write their deaths? I know, I get it, Death Note, and he shouldn't, regardless, he shouldn't be writing anything, but like, did he write something alarming? Did he write something like he wants to, you know what I'm saying? Does he want to cause harm to people in the school? Like, there's a lot of questions to be asked. I used to look at this a little bit differently. I used to look at it like, yo, it's just a Death Note, and to a certain degree, yeah, and a lot of these kids, they should be cognitive, especially if you're in middle school. By now you should understand, like, yo, it's just a show, you shouldn't be doing that, you're gonna get in trouble, you do some shit like that. But at the same time, you know, they are taking it a little bit extreme with all of that. But considering all of the crimes of people going to schools and stuff like that, school, you know what I'm saying, shooters and shit like that, like, if that's been happening, they probably were on the mark just to be safe. I'm gonna just keep it real. I prefer for them nowadays, the climate nowadays, be safe and catch him before it could turn into something else. So that's the, I guess, the adult's family parent brain of mine of like, I'm kind of glad in a way that they're catching him. I don't think he should be severely punished, and I'm glad that the cops were like, yo, he didn't commit a crime, but now we can keep an eye on this kid and, you know, get him the counseling and whatever else it needs for him to understand, well, why do you want these people dead? Was it just a joke? If it was just a joke with friends, that's a different story as well. So a lot of details are missing before I can make a complete judgment, other than yeah, another one of these stories passing around. Kids, anybody, don't write on death notes, even if you're not in the school. Like, imagine you just write on a book that says death note and lists of people, and they find it, they're gonna be like, this motherfucker's crazy, like, even out of school. So, you know, it is what it is. Either way, yeah, another student gets in trouble for Death Note. Okay, people, and last but not least, actually 2 stories, because there was a couple of celebrity stories that I recently saw. One of them I'm like, what the hell? The other one I'm like, what the hell? Because 2 celebrities recently were involved in some type of anime related things, and I feel like we should create a segment like Celeb Anime Radar or some shit like that. Somebody recommend a name for this little segment, and anytime there's a celeb that is either repping anime, doing something regarding anime, we'll report on it and we'll talk about it, and it'll lead to whatever conversation it leads to. But yeah, recommend me a name for the segment. For now, we'll just go with the Celeb Anime Radar. And right now, for starters, we got one, Billie Eilish. Apparently, Billie Eilish wore a Fire Force shirt at a concert, and it very well could just be somebody gave her a Fire Force shirt. It could be, hey, branding wise, like, yo, you kind of fit in the anime scene, you should totally, you know, you got a lot of anime fans that love your music, so she did that. Or it could very well be that she's a Fire Force fan. I could definitely see it, and that'd be so dope. Like, imagine kicking it with Billie Eilish and watching some anime or some shit. That'd be kind of low-key fire. Billie Eilish has always had that like swagger and spirit, like, yo, you kind of want to kick it with Billie Eilish, you know what I'm saying? So shout outs and salutes to Billie Eilish with the Fire Force agenda. I mean, she got great taste. And then we got another one, I don't even want to say rising star, because he's had some hits. He's just not in the realm of like artists that I'm particularly into per se, but I don't got necessarily any bad blood for him, and I'd be willing to check out more of his music. He does have one song that I really like, that was like that R.I.P. song to Juice or something like that, trying to get over somebody's stuff. Like, that shit was very powerful. But it says here, the Kid Laroi announced a collaboration with Tokyo Revengers. A special movie linking the story of Tokyo Revengers and the lyrics of the Kid Laroi Stay will be released soon. So maybe he's just doing like something inspired, or is it like an official announced a collaboration with Tokyo? Maybe it's just that he's doing something like inspired, and there's like an image of Mikey, and then on the other side is the Kid Laroi with Justin Bieber, which I'm not gonna lie, marketing wise, that is absolutely genius, and I could see this taking off. I mean, my guys ain't gonna be listening. I'll just keep it above with you. My peoples, unless it's like some really, like, I don't know, it got some swag and a vibe, and of course when the ladies are around, because I can see that they're probably gonna make a record for the ladies. Like, yeah, you know, I listen to it, but me and my fellas, we ain't listening. I ain't going front. And that's kind of, I guess, in a way, a bad combo for Tokyo Revengers. Like, you ideally want somebody like really metal, hardcore, somebody epic like that, and it's like, you know, we got 2, like, Kid Laroi is, you know, singy guy. Bieber, he had his badass moments, quote unquote, I guess, but it's Bieber. So Celeb Radar, again, Kid Laroi, a Tokyo Revengers collab crossover, and also Billie Eilish wearing a Fire Force shirt. What the hell world we coming to? Although I ain't gonna lie, Billie Eilish, rep it. Not sure how long we're gonna stay on this one, because the overall arcing issues and just in general the details of this go way beyond just what we're covering here. But apparently for people over in Russia, there has been, you know, a lot of issues over there in general. You know, again, the whole situation between them and the Ukraine and whatnot. But in particular, something here in the anime and manga realm was the fact that Crunchyroll took a stand against, I guess, Russia. And according to this, just says Crunchyroll suspends anime streaming in Russia. So as it stands right now, you can no longer access Crunchyroll. But again, there's just so much going on over there. Like, for starters, it doesn't even matter at this point, considering that so many things have taken a stand against Russia, to the point where Russia has, to my understanding, and don't quote me on this because I don't know all the details, but has seemingly made it more legalized to pirate. Basically, piracy has damn near become legal over there, according to reports. Again, I don't know all the details, so do your research before you just completely take my word on that. So again, Crunchyroll being being suspended, which it was a little bit late with Crunchyroll. I saw a lot of companies taking a stand and saying, yo, we're pulling out, we're turning off service over there, we're stopping it over there in Russia, whatnot. That Crunchyroll was like, oh yeah, by the way, us too. And considering the fact that they're pirating over there anyways, I don't think there's going to be much of a problem for them. Like, I guess, like, I'm sure there's going to be a massive loss in a way, just in general. I'm sure Russia generates a whole bunch of revenue for them, but you know, it is what it is. Big things are going on in the world, and yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling to think about, to be honest with you. And my heart goes out to everybody that's affected, all the innocent people on all sides and within all parties, because there are innocent people and shit like that. And yeah, above all, just even this situation of, hey, you don't got no Crunchyroll, like, there's bigger matters over there. But for anybody that is able to watch this and access this and see this, yeah, your Crunchyroll over there in Russia is not bugging out. It's completely gone because they're offline over there due to, again, the political war and all of that jazz that's going on right now. I kind of feel like I want to move on here. Like, yo, we FORNEVERNEWS in here. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not them other dudes, cats. You know what I'm saying? We're giving you that other side of news to heal the wound. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they gonna show you the wound. They gonna let it bleed out. They gonna show everybody the blood. And I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put the band-aid and be like, yo, it's alright, son. Like, look at this. Like, watch this movie right here. Yo, this anime shit is crazy. Like, heal, baby, heal. And that's how we do things, baby. That's my spirit. Hope you love it. But yeah, people, just wanted to report on that because I felt it was significant enough. Crunchyroll has shut down over there in Russia for the time being. I guess until further notice, until whatever. But yeah. Okay, people, next story of the episode. Something huge. Something huge that has me questioning a lot of different aspects of what's going on. Has me wondering, why are things moving the way they are? Just in general, like, I'm very, very, I guess, filled with questions. Filled with, I don't want to say concern, because it doesn't feel like there's need to be concerned. But definitely, I'm still wondering, like, what the hell's going on here regarding the future of the Chainsaw Man manga, regarding what Tatsuki Fujimoto is up to, because yeah, with this announcement, it's making me wonder, are we even going to get a Chainsaw Man 2? Or are we even going to like what we get with Chainsaw Man 2 based on what he just said and what was just reported, allegedly, of what he's up to? But before we get into that in general, I wanted to remind people that in case you didn't know, 65% of people watching this right now aren't subscribed. And yo, it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot. It would change a lot of lives. Nah, it would do wonders, honestly, and it would help you keep up to date as well with the show if you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all notifications. We drop episodes of FORNEVERNEWS Monday through Friday, and I would greatly appreciate if you support the channel, and just in general, also do yourself a favor and get notified. We talk about all the great stuff over here, and I keep you up to date with it, so you don't gotta worry about checking it out. Like, yo, where's the news? I got you. But back to the stories. Fam, Tatsuki Fujimoto, I don't know what's going on over there in Shueisha. I don't know why they don't have him on a tighter leash, or I don't know if this is just some wild artistic expression, so to speak, type of deal, because it just feels like things haven't been, I don't want to say going according to plan, because there's no necessarily plan that has been laid out or anything, but it's just been weird since the ending of Chainsaw Man. For starters, Chainsaw Man kind of ended abruptly. I'm not saying that it was a bad ending by any means. In fact, it's one of my favorite Shonen Jump manga endings of all time. Like, it was just really that impactful, and we got more to look forward to. So absolutely not even in my radar to say anything negative or derogatory towards the end of Chainsaw Man. I'm just saying that it definitely caught me by surprise, considering the fact that, you know, Shonen Jump manga are notorious for lasting a long time. Few of them, they, you know, pull the plug early. They don't want to go that long, or they get canceled. That'd be the worst case scenario. But majority of the time, they're meant to go for the distance. But when Chainsaw Man announced, like, yo, it's about to end and stuff like that, I was like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? And then I believe it was December of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, that Chainsaw Man ended. Here we are, March 2022. Still no Chainsaw Man Part 2, because it was announced at the end of the manga that Part 2 is coming, and it'll be in Jump Plus. So still no Part 2, still no anime, and then now this announcement. Let's read so you guys can understand why I'm confused and what the hell, Fujimoto, what are we doing? Like, yo, are we gonna change the protagonist of Chainsaw Man at that? Like, a lot of questions. Again, let's read. people probably like, yo, Fornev, you always say let's read and still keep talking. Just read the goddamn thing. Well, it's my show, gosh darn it. Can I live? Can I live? Tatsuki Fujimoto from Chainsaw Man, Look Back, Fire Punch, which is crazy. They put Look Back before Fire Punch. Fire Punch is a OG. Has revealed that he is working on a new manga centered around quote-unquote a femme fatale. And a little more context here from Manga Mogura Re. Chainsaw Man creator Tatsuki Fujimoto revealed that he's working on a new manga with the theme of a femme fatale. He really likes the idea of such a woman who is destroying everything along her way, but it's far from finished as he still has a lot to draw. And I'm going to keep it a buck without spoilers. I'm going to just throw this blanket statement. If you know, you know. You don't, you don't. Don't speculate. This is straight up a blanket statement. It could mean many different things, or it means something. But anyways, what if Tatsuki Fujimoto decides to change the protagonist for Chainsaw Man Part 2, and it's no longer Denji, but a certain character that we saw towards the end of the manga after a time skip? What if that's the case, and what if that's why he's referring to a manga about a femme fatale? What if Chainsaw Man Part 2 is some next level hilarious type of vibe where the person that should be the main character, let's just say he's like on some, I don't know, he's out of shape, old as hell, and now another character is taking up the mantle, and that's how it moves forward, and it's in Jump Plus. I don't know how I would feel about that. Part of me would feel a little bit like, well, are we gonna focus in on that out of shape old guy and then see the, like, how's this gonna work? Because I do want to see that guy, and I'm trying to be very spoiler free for people that haven't even checked out Chainsaw Man, because it's great and I want you to check it out. And by the way, just want to add a little more context. Manga Mogura Re said, please note it says quote unquote next manga. This could either be a series, aka his Chainsaw Man 2, or only a one-shot maybe. It's a bit vague. So again, because we do know that Fujimoto is working on a one-shot, he could very well be referring to that one-shot, although he did say that he's far from done. So I'm wondering, a one-shot, how long that's going to take? Like, there's a lot of questions. If he's talking about the one-shot, oh, have a blast, yeah, and it'll probably be great. I mean, Look Back was amazing, and a one-shot again with more, why not? Females, yeah, do it up, absolutely. I'd read the crap out of it. I'm going to talk about it here on this channel, yeah. Don't do that with Chainsaw Man 2. Don't mess up the greatness of Chainsaw Man 2 by swapping out the MC. You know what I'm saying? It would just be wild. Unless you're going to do something like, I always hate to keep on bringing it to this one because people get pissed off at me, but like, unless you're going to do like, I don't know, some type of cross between like a Boruto meets Dragon Ball Z. I guess more so towards the Dragon Ball Z line where it's like the main character is still that character, but there's another main character now. Maybe do something like that. Goku, Gohan, opposed to, hey, the new main character is this character that nobody really knows and is really checking for, but you're gonna love him after we give you 1 billion chapters, or her, I guess. And either way, that femme fatale shit, I'm just bugging out. Like, I want the person to be the person to be, unless it's really good. I don't know. I don't want to act like Tatsuki Fujimoto has given me reason to mistrust his pen either, because Chainsaw Man, I screamed its name from the heavens above for a reason. It's an amazing manga. And yeah, Tatsuki Fujimoto, even if he switched the character, and a femme fatale sounds kind of cool anyway, I think he could write something great. But yeah, either way, I'm nervous, I'm worried. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. Tatsuki Fujimoto, his next manga is going to be about a femme fatale. That's not necessarily saying that Chainsaw Man 2 is going to be about a femme fatale. In fact, that's to say that possibly he could decide, no, I'm not doing Chainsaw Man 2 right now, which would be the least likely. Like, hey, I don't like money after explosion and company tell me make more money. Like, stop. But yeah, people, Tatsuki Fujimoto, creator of Chainsaw Man, as he's working on, or supposed to be working on, Chainsaw Man 2, is talking about a femme fatale manga that he's working on right now. Curious. Definitely want to know what you guys think about this one. Let me know. But moving forward, okay, people, next up, something that I did want to keep people updated with, and just in general, I kind of wanted to talk about, because it's something that the previous game to this, I guess, name, this franchise, so to speak, on mobile, I was obsessed with, and now this new one, people just don't stop talking about it, and it looks like over here on the YouTubes, it's very successful. I see a lot of people that they're dedicating their entire channels now to this particular game, and it's showcasing through and through that it's a real big hit, because according to this, it says here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel fans, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel tops 20 million downloads. After rocketing to 10 million downloads last month, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has just announced it has reached a new milestone with 20 million downloads. To celebrate the new achievement, Konami gifted 1,000 gems to its players. This celebratory present is available for those that log in from now until April 25th. On top of the gems, a new solo mode was added titled The Fairies Who Paint the Weather. And just in general, it has this image of, I have no idea what card that is, but it says Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and it has some really epic angel looking card, and it says 2,000 Konami Digital Entertainment. And yeah, pretty much so you'll get extra bonuses and whatnot. Yo, shout outs to this game. I ain't gonna lie, y'all should hit me up for a sponsorship. That'd be kind of fire. I'm just saying, because the game sounds kind of cool. I wouldn't mind playing it and letting the people know if they should check it out or not. But yeah, shout outs to that game, and shout outs to keeping the Yu-Gi-Oh! Name alive, bro. We're in 2022. I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in like 2002, like 20 years ago. I never in a billion years of my wildest dreams thought I would be talking on a microphone to tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people about Yu-Gi-Oh! 20 years later. This is crazy, and it's still relevant. It's not like I'm reminiscing on the old days of something no one cares about. People still love Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of my thug dudes, they be like, yo, dog, Fornev, come through, let's play some of that Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'll be like, alright, yeah, no doubt, for sure, yeah. Just put the guns away, lad. By the way, that was just a joke. There are no, yeah. Gotta add a line like that from time to time, lads. Make sure people don't get confused. Okay, people, next up, this is not necessarily anime and manga related, but it kind of is, because at the same time, this platform has started to become very prominent in the anime realm, because, well, hey, if you want to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the anime by David Productions, and you want to watch it, like, you know what I'm saying, the new stuff, let's just say, I don't know, Stone Ocean, Jolene Cujo, yeah, no, it's not on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray. It's not on Crunchyroll. Funimation's dead. Netflix. Netflix is where you gotta go to get your fix, fam. And Netflix, yo, what y'all doing, dog? Like, yo, y'all check-in rates is starting to get crazy, though. Like, yo, I'ma check in with you, but you're starting to get a little carried away here, fam, because according to this, which again, it affects all anime fans that subscribe to this one for the anime in a major way, Netflix will now require subscribers to pay for users outside their households with a new feature that limits password sharing. Netflix will soon launch a test letting primary account holders pay an additional fee for users outside their households, a new attempt by the company to address illicit password sharing. According to the Netflix terms of service, a customer's account may not be shared with individuals beyond your household. After years of turning a blind eye to password sharing, behavior that falls outside that requirement, the company last year ran a limited test prompting users to enter their account credentials as a way to nudge freeloaders into paying for their own account. Now, in an upcoming test launching in 3 countries, Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru, Netflix will let members who share their accounts with people outside their house do so easily and securely, while also paying a bit more. I'm gonna read this, but we're gonna talk about it. According to Cheng Yi Long, director of product innovation at Netflix, the new options will roll out in the next few weeks in the 3 countries and may or may not expand beyond those markets. We've always made it easy for people who live together to share their Netflix account with features like separate profiles and multiple streams in our standard and premium plans. While these have been hugely popular, they also created some confusion about when and how Netflix can be shared. As a result, accounts are being shared between households, impacting our ability to invest in great new TV and films for our members. With the Add an Extra Member feature, members with Netflix standards and premium plans will be able to add subsidiary accounts for up to 2 people they don't live with, each with their own profile, personalized recommendations, login, and password for less than the cost of a separate Netflix plan. In the test countries, the cost for adding a sub-member is about $2.99 USD, and here's a breakdown of the pricing of Netflix's plans in each country. Basically, it's looking like it's going to be about an extra $3 or so. As with other tests the streamers had conducted, there's no guarantee the option to pay for non-household members will end up a permanent part of the service. We'll be working to understand the utility of these 2 features for members in 3 countries before making any changes anywhere else in the world. In addition, Netflix is testing out the ability to let subscribers transfer user profiles to new accounts, which would make it easier for password moochers to pay for their own plans. Members in the 3 test countries can allow people who share their account to transfer profile information either to a new account or an extra member sub-account, preserving their viewing history, my list, and personalized recommendations info. And again, yeah, they've been testing this. Netflix ended 2021 with 221.8 million total paying subscribers. Of those, 75.2 million, 34% of the total, were in the US and Canada. And I'm gonna just keep it 100 trillion 100,000. I'm almost dead certain that one of the big reasons why Netflix is doing this is, again, because of the competition. That we were just complaining the other day, and the thing is that they're not seeing enough of a blowback for it to make them stop in their tracks as it stands right now. It's kind of like how iPhone, you know, Apple, they be pulling our arms off every year, you know what I'm saying? And there's like an iPhone or two every freaking year and shit like that in terms of Netflix, because like, yo, it's just getting crazy. Like, again, they just hiked the price not that long ago, and now they're doing this. I mean, I get it, there's a lot of competition, I get it. You got platforms like HBO Max that is coming through. I just got on board, I ain't gonna lie, I've been enjoying a little bit of what they got on there. It's giving them competition. I also want to add in there that I do think times have changed for Netflix, and they're not liking it. In terms of 6-7 years ago, the whole Netflix and chill and whatnot, there was no major competition for Netflix like that. It was like Netflix at 100 and everything else under. It was kind of like that run that One Piece had, that for years upon years it would be like One Piece 40 million, everything else 5 and 6 million. Like, that's what it kind of felt like in terms of with Netflix. Nowadays, we're in the streaming era where it's not just Netflix by itself. Now you got Netflix. Now you got Crunchyroll becoming prominent to be in the conversation. Now you got HBO Max getting movies sometimes before they even freaking hit theaters, or as they're hitting theaters on their service, which is a major, major game-changing move for the platform. And a lot of that was, of course, due to the pandemic and things needed to change and all that jazz. And HBO kind of just got lucky with who they're aligned with to be able to get access to that. But Netflix isn't alone anymore reaping the benefits. Now Netflix has a lot of competition. Now the views, the customers are scattered. It's scattered now. It's not going to all go to just Netflix. And a lot of people are like, well, I've watched everything on Netflix. Let me go get HBO Max for a while. Then they're going to do that with HBO Max and eventually make their way back to Netflix probably. But the even bigger issue with all of this in general is that I've said this before, I'll say it again. We're headed towards these Netflix, HBO Maxes. All of these are going to go exactly the same way the whole cable company situation. We're going to go into that aspect. We're going to go into that avenue where it's going to just be that eventually all of these things become ridiculously expensive. I'm not paying $200 a month for Netflix or $150 a month. I'm not paying that for any of these streaming services. And eventually it will get to that point, and what's going to happen is they're going to start devouring one after the other, and then it'll only be like literally 3 streaming platforms or something like that. Literally just 3. Everything else will be like, you know, minuscule. Nobody cares. It'll just be 3. There won't be no other ones and whatnot. Newbies won't make noise. Like, shout outs to Peacock. They're doing their thing. Like, it won't be no more of that because they're going to just get swallowed up by the giant conglomerates that they won't be able to compete against. This is why YouTube, yo, shout outs to the big dog. We are here, boy. Continues to be dominant. And the only competition we really got is like TikTok, but that's a whole other different conversation in general. It's a scary thing because at a certain point, like, yo, dog, I don't want to be at a point in my life where it's like, yo, I can't experience this entertainment because it'll cost me $1,500 to have every streaming service. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I don't want to go back to the cable era either, like in terms of pricing and shit like that. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, but things is getting crazy. And now it kind of sucks. There's a lot of people that they depend on it. A lot of people that this is their only form of entertainment, is the fact that, you know, their uncle, their aunts, their cousin, their big cousin, you know, has that password so that they can have access to their Netflix account. And now big cousin can't share that. Uncle, aunt can't share that. Now they're kind of asked out. I don't like that. I think that's kind of wrong, but they're trying to basically make up for the fact that, again, it's no longer their arena. Now it's a whole entire system that they're working with, and there's a lot of competition. So the competition is making Netflix make a lot of moves that eventually, if they don't stop or try and appease the fans is going to be like, alright, Netflix, it was a good run. We chilled. We gotta go. We're getting in our car. No morning kiss goodbye. We chilled, we Netflixed, and we bounced. But yeah, people no longer, seemingly soon, gonna be able to share passwords with people outside of your household with Netflix without paying an extra fee. Like, how much more do you want, man? Do you want my blood, my soul? Okay, people, and final story of the episode. Very small, hilarious, but hey, we take what we can get around here, people, when it comes to Hunter x Hunter fandom. If it's with a H, and an X that is silent and another H, we'll take it because we ain't getting squat, fam. We still rewatching the old 2011 anime, sometimes going back into the old OVA anime. We still, whatever we can get, because Tagashi don't give a shit, dog. Tagashi don't care. But according to this one here, Hunter x Hunter in the news because Hunter x Hunter will be holding a Hunter test at Tokyo's Jingun Stadium during this year's Golden Week. What does that mean? Also though, hold up, yo, Discovery, as we're reporting, let's read this again and you'll understand what I'm talking about of the Discovery that I just caught. This is dead ass serious, live reaction, baby. Hunter x Hunter will be holding a Hunter test at Tokyo's Jingun Stadium during this year's Golden Week. When is Golden Week? When does Golden Week go down? Could it possibly be because this is gonna be the way they promote that Hunter x Hunter manga's returning? It is so sad the headcanon that we have to come up with in order to accept the fact that Tagashi don't care. Like, seriously, dude don't care. He probably would see this right now, scratch his back, say ow, laugh, and go and play Dragon Quest, the latest Dragon Quest. That's what he would do if he heard these words. He'd be like, oh, man, it get funny. And walk away. Like, nan desu ka? A Hunter test, though, at a stadium for this year's Golden Week? That sounds kind of big. Like, what's happening at the stadium? Is it like a big game? Because that would be a great way to get people's attention. Hunter x Hunter's back, like a big game, and a lot of older people that, you know, Hunter x Hunter has a cult following that's been following it for years upon years. They'll be like, Daijobu kimochi. They probably do something like that. But yeah, people, Hunter x Hunter in the news because they're doing a big Hunter test at the Tokyo Jingun Stadium during this year's Golden Week, which again, Golden Week, that's when they take the week off. So it could be like, boom, yo, Hunter x Hunter chapter to go into Golden Week with the return, which that would be so on brand with Tagashi to bring Hunter x Hunter back for 1 week and then go on another week hiatus. Like, he is that methodical. But yeah, people, Hunter x Hunter, there's possibilities there, but Tagashi, he don't care about us. All I want to say is that Tagashi don't care about us. But yeah, people, those are the stories we have for today's episode. Curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, something that I didn't mention and you're like, Fornev, you lacking, bro, you lacking. Mention it. Let me know. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule! Anime and manga for life, boy! Have an awesome day. Peace in, and you guys just watched another episode of FORNEVERNEWS! Have an awesome day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, baby. I'm just saying. Peace in.
To